Get your pataphysics department ready, get your thaumaturges in order. It's time for the foundation. With the Schumer bill in the works right now, and what is it, the NDAA? I don't know. I'm not too well informed on some of this, but it talks to potential government shutdown as well. With Trump's incarceration, he's calling for shutdowns, which I was reading about this. Apparently this has nothing to do with it. Federal prosecutions have nothing to do with shutdowns, so that's kind of funny. Hopefully that has nothing to do with anything, but I don't know. I'm not really invested in sides, and this is kind of dating the stream, but that's kind of why I think it's pertinent right now. That's kind of why I want to jump back into this. Some of the important things on that bill, we've talked about UAP and NHI and whatever else. That all fits. That fits the bill of the foundation. So, it's important stuff. It seems like the two major parties talking from, well-informed sides, it seems, are saying that it's a typical bill that passes. I grew up interested in United States government, but it's a shit show. We all know it's kind of like a fucking weird clown circus going on in there. Hey, like, you want meat and potatoes? You want, like, fucking clown confetti, like, covered, candy floss? I don't know. You go in there and you can have whichever. I feel like people are going in there and they're having like a bento box actually. Anyway, it's all up in the air. There's all these excited talks and we want to find out about UFOs, aliens, whatever it could be. I think it's just a new time kind of thing. I don't know. Even just rewind when I was talking about this recently on this stream, reading the Foundation Wiki. I feel like the topic was kind of the same, but it's all just, it feels coincidental timing and at the same time, the right time. So I remember reading about this bill a few years ago. I don't remember what it was for though, but it seems that a lot of other important things go in there. So I don't know. Let's do our reading. Yeah, I think it's important. I'm not heavily invested in government or politics or political affairs, whatever the fuck. I think it has quite a bit to do with what we're talking about here, though. Especially for the higher level ideas. We got, let's even rewind like a decade or two ago. Solar panels and whatnot. That was kind of a hot ticket item. And now you see people just kind of casually talk about them, right? Rewind like fucking 50, 70, whatever, however many years, like satellites, rockets, hot ticket items. Nowadays it's like, well, that's kind of also relevant. NASA and SpaceX and, whoever all of these integral moving parts are. But anyway, let's find out the side of it on this side of the coin. So let's delve back in. Oh no. Okay, that's fine. I had a feeling that this was gonna be fucky wucky, but it's fine. There it is. The Foundation Wiki. Welcome to the homepage. As always, we like to take a look at it. We take a look at it real quick. And I like to start with a random one, so. As always, hopefully this is a numeral. Yeah. I don't know why that number seems familiar, but anyway. What the? Oh my god, it's completely different. What the fuck is that? I don't even want to know. The fact that I like crop this differently, it has no meaning now, because this is centered perfectly. RNC Site 43, subverting common practice. Okay. SCP-5583, Containment Class Euclid, Disruption Class Dark, Risk Class Warning. Level 3. Yeah, I'm just kind of jumping right back in, but as a reminder, we're reading 281 through 290. 281 through 290. So yeah, I'd like to start with a random one. This one seems just fucking goofy, but okay. Special Containment Procedures 5583 is held in a humanoid containment cell at Site 43. That does redirect to Site 43. It is being provided with several arcade cabinets acquired from the defunct Costa Mesa, California franchise location of the Pizza Palace restaurant chain. 5583 is permitted to periodically exit its containment cell under armed guard when not undergoing testing, so long as a specialized sheath is fitted over its horn. What? Well, there's a picture. It looks very goofy. The description of the image is wall mural depicting SCP-5583 at its originating Pizza Palace location in Costa Mesa, California. Did I say Pizza Place? No, I think I said Pizza Palace earlier. Whatever. Skippy.jpg is the name of the image. Poor Skippy. Poor Skippy. Here, I've got the bottom cropped quite a lot. There we go. Poor Skippy. What's wrong? No, I don't think anything's wrong. Skippy, okay. It's a very, like, children's coloring book image. But, like, the top... Okay, we've got a window for the main character portrait. The top is a ribbon that's folded in, the first quarter and fourth quarters. So you kind of see like the emblem of the name. It's lined in red and it's very bold. There's stars lining the folds. So there's 4 stars. It just says Skippy in like a really cowboy font. The rest of the window is just like purplish pink with a very thick purple line in the middle of the extremely thick pink line. Inside of Skippy's window, it's a gradient from green to blue, from left, green, blue, right. Skippy is like a unicorn dancer? Like a magical unicorn dancer? I don't know. They're wearing what appears to be a crown on their unicorn horn. I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is really weird. I feel like I'm looking at Five Nights at Freddy's. Skippy has purple hair, pink hair that looks kind of like matted. Kind of like a matted pink hair that was washed and dried improperly. Skippy's blushing. Skippy is a very like blonde unicorn. The only like real defining traits is like the belly to neck skin. Fur is like a lighter color, slightly different tone. And Skippy is wearing a tutu, which is pink to like hot pink on the skirt. Skippy's waving at us and has a purple star rod. And Skippy is blushing. Out of all of the Foundation images I've seen so far, this is a really weird one. It just looks like I'm looking at My Little Pony. Description: 5583 is an animatronic figure that... Fuck it, there you go. Put her there. Five Nights at Freddy's. Description: 5583 is an animatronic figure associated with the American restaurant chain Pizza Palace. Footnote 1, a mechanical puppet. It measures 1.8 meters in height and has the appearance of an anthropomorphic unicorn wearing a magenta wig and a pink tutu. A plastic purple star wand covered in glitter is attached to its left palm. Beyond dried grease and mucus stains on its legs, 5583 is in a good state of repair. Y'all need to clean that thing. 5583 is sapient and capable of more advanced mobility than its mechanical components should allow. It is able to communicate via a speaker within its mouth using both masculine Scottish and feminine English accents, displaying a marked preference for the former. Okay. 5583 also possesses the following minor anomalous attributes. Bullet. The ability to process food via a hatch in its mouth. Though 5583 claims it is capable of digestion, internal analysis reveals no digestive system and no traces of previous meals are evident. Bullet. The production of clouds of luminescent glitter when the star on its wand strikes solid matter. Frame-by-frame video analysis reveals that the glitter peels off from the wand itself and immediately self-illuminates, before disappearing and reappearing on the wand. I turn away from the mic to breathe. Bullet. The manifestation of wings on its back at will. Said wings are organic, resembling those of Danaos plexippus, the monarch butterfly, at both structural and genetic levels. Due to 5583's weight and the short span of its wings, it is incapable of flight. Bullet. The emission of beams of refracted light from the tip of its horn. 5583 is capable of heating matter by concentrating these beams at a specific target, up and to including the point of combustion. Bullet. The tutu has so far proven indestructible and cannot be removed. Holy fuck, we made SCP Five Nights at Freddy's. What? It's even at a pizza palace. Discovery. On 6/3/2019, 5583 became known to the Foundation following an incident occurring at a Pizza Palace restaurant in Costa Mesa, California. A customer inadvertently provoked 5583 as it was performing, resulting in it breaking character and causing a public disturbance before exiting the premises. The incident was reconstructed using footage from security cameras and cell phones recovered from the patrons. It went rogue. Access video logs 06/03/2019. Camera 4, Skippy stage. Children are operating arcade cabinets and playing in the aisles. A costumed employee is entertaining them with waving hands and dancing. Families are seated and consuming their meals. A single stage light activates, illuminating the Sir Leaps-a-Lot animatronic, a humanoid frog, on stage. Sir Leaps-a-Lot. Greetings, fellow knights of the dinner table. It is I, Sir Leaps-a-Lot. Trumpets sound from offstage. I am not going to do like a frog voice. No, not for this. Maybe one day I could do a reprisal. But no. Sir Leaps-a-Lot. The prince of the hour has arrived. Everybody give a big round of applause to the birthday inaudible. Most patrons are ignoring the animatronic. A child slips on the floor, falls down, and begins to cry. Sir Leaps-a-Lot. Great, love that energy. Now before we get this pizza party started, I've got someone very special for you to meet. Coming to us all the way from Magic Land, the most powerful fairy alive. The one and only. Give it up for Skippy the Unicorn. Sir Leaps-a-Lot's head rotates to face off stage. It continues rotating until it is facing backward. Two seated swaying men cough. Two seated swaying men laugh loudly, attempt, and fail to clink their glasses together and drink. One upsets a full cup of soda on the table. An employee mopping up at the adjacent table sighs, dragging his mop towards the new spill. Wow, that just feels candid. Sir Leaps-a-Lot. Looks like Skippy is feeling a bit shy. I know. Let's motivate her with a little cheer. Skippy. The audience is largely silent. Sir Leaps-a-Lot. Louder, kids, so she can hear us. Skippy. The audio briefly square waves on the final word, and several adults place their hands on their ears, grimacing. Children standing by the stage jump up and down, cheering. One attempts to climb up, but is quickly discouraged by an adult. Sir Leaps-a-Lot. One more time, knights. Skippy! The curtain opens on Skippy's stage, revealing 5583. Its eyes open and it begins to move, jerkily, and speak with a female English accent. 5583. Why, hello there, brave children and friends. It is I, Skippy. One of the men whispers in the other's ear. The latter snorts. The first man finishes his drink, and they both stand up. 5583. High-pitched titter. So terribly sorry to be late to your most excellent party, boys and girls. Ferry traffic was phenomenal on the Rainbow Road. The two men approach the stage, brushing several children aside. Sir Leaps-a-Lot's head rotates back around. Sir Leaps-a-Lot. We're just glad you're here, Skippy. Say, don't you have something to tell these fine folks? 5583. Oh, why, yes, Sir Lix-a-Lot. Sir Lix-a-Lot. One male parent laughs once. Several others turn to stare at him. 5583. As the guest of honor at this finest of all fine castles, I must sing a song. Behold, the music of my people. 5583 begins to sing in an off-key falsetto. One of the men snickers, fumbling with his cell phone. 5583. On your very special day. First man, come on, do it, do it. 5583. We're so glad you came to play. Second man, laughing. I'm trying. First man. Oh, dude, Tyler's gonna laugh his ass off when we show him. 5583. We'll all share your birthday cheer. The second man extends his phone beneath 5583's tutu and takes a graph. The second man extends his phone beneath 5583's tutu and takes a photograph. 5583. Birthdays come but once. The fuck, you son of a bitch? 5583 is now speaking in a male Scottish accent. It kicks the cell phone across the room and shoves the folds of its tutu between its legs. 5583. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You sick fuck? Everyone in the room has now directed their attention to 5583. 5583. Why? I can't believe this, you sick motherfucker. 5583 jumps down from the stage, breaking the tiles, and lifts the second man up by his collar. 5583. You degenerate. After all the lousy songs I sang to you drunken giddy fucksticks, this is how you repay me. Upskirting? Do they not have the internet in whatever shithole burg you crawled out from? 5583 grabs the back of the second man's head and presses their foreheads together. A dark stain spreads down the man's pants. 5583. Somebody needs to teach you about manners, son, and I have a song that might help. Camera 9 security room. First technician. The fuck is Buddy in the costume doing? He's gonna get us all shit-canned. Second technician. Dude, do we even have any Skippy costumes? Camera 4, Skippy's stage. This is just getting increasingly more and more Five Nights at Freddy's. First man, dude, it was just a dare. Dude, it was just a dare. Calm down. 5583. Ah, so you're the asshole pulling the strings. 5583 releases the second man, who drops to the floor and flees. It turns to the first man, who backs away slowly. 5583. Calm down, he says. Ha, like hell. Couple of disgusting voyeurs thought I was a filly. You feeling let down? Huh? I'm not gonna do like a Scottish accent. Not right now. Maybe like while I'm playing a video game, and this it feels like improper unless I like get it perfect, usually. 5583 grabs the first man by both shoulders. 5583, how about I return the favor? How about I go find that phone and take a picture of my own? The first man is weeping. 5583, deep up your ass. A slice of pizza smacks wetly into the side of 5583's head. It slides off and falls to the floor. 5583 sighs and turns its face to look at a small child wearing a paper crown. The child is frowning and he crosses his arms. 5583, thanks for the snack. Child, leave my daddy alone, you poopy head, or I'll call Mom. 5583, don't kids say the darndest things. 5583 releases the first man, approaches the child, and crouches to his eye level. 5583, so poopy head, is it? Very creative. What inspired you? Was it popping out of your mama 8 years ago when she last took a dump, you little shit? The customers are now forming a crowd near the stage. A middle-aged woman approaches 5583, pointing at it. Woman. Hey, you can't talk to my son like that. Who do you think you are? 5583, I'm Skippy, Karen. It's in all the ad material. Go harass the cashier or something. Woman, how do you know my name? Silence. 5583, wait, you're actually... 5583 begins to laugh. 5583, my god, the joke became reality. I'd laugh harder, but I hate gross-out humor. Woman, how dare you? I'll get you fired for this. Language warning. 5583, kiss my ass, you miserable cunt. The assembled adults gasp, except for an elderly woman who continues to eat at her table. The children appear confused. 5583, oh, I'm sorry, did that offend you? Let me rephrase. 5583 switches to its female English voice. Kiss my ass, you miserable cunt. That sugar-coated enough for you? A manager approaches 5583. A manager approaches 5583. He taps it on the shoulder. Manager, whoever you are so fired. Leave the costume, get your stuff, and go. Out. 5583, resuming its male Scottish voice. What? No, I can... Actually, you know what? Fuck you, Derek. 5583 pokes the manager in the chest. 5583, you haven't paid me since day one, and you can't fire me because I quit. But first, I've got some parting words, starting with you. 5583 points at each of the children in turn. 5583, you little brats ruin this place for everyone, crying and shouting and screaming all day long, making your little messes, breaking my favorite game. God, I'd feel so bad for your parents if they weren't such complete asshats. Wouldn't blame them if they decided to shove you back where you came from. 5583 points at each of the adults in turn. 5583, and don't even get me started on you fuckers. You're somehow even worse, getting drunk, getting into fistfights over who gets to ride the helicopter or sneak out back for a smoke. Not to mention what those shitwits were up to. 5583 points at the two men who are speaking to a security guard near the exit. 5583. In fact, what genius thought it was a good idea to serve booze at a kiddie restaurant? You revolt me. You revolt me, all of you. Sir Leaps a Lot. That was a magnificent song, Skippy. Music to my ears. $55.83. 5583 points at Sir Leaps a Lot. Yes, thank you, thank you. At least someone in this dump has a good head on his shoulders. As for you, 5583 points at the manager. Normally I'd tell you to suck my pizza-stained, snot-stained, out-of-date, actually non-existent dick. But knowing you, you'd probably like that. Manager, what? 5583. I know what you do for recreation on your office computer. All I can say is, you need church, boy. 5583 leans towards the manager's ear and stage whispers, and an exorcism. The manager backs away, his eyes wide and mouth open. 5583 moves toward the exit. 5583, so long, folks. Oh, by the way, they reuse the food from the trash to save money. Trust me, I've seen it myself. The elderly woman drops her fork and spits the chewed up food onto her plate. 5583, thanks for 30 years of nothing, everybody. I'm out of here. 5583 pulls the tiara from its head and throws it to the crowd. Sweet freedom, here I come. 5583 slams open the doors and leaves the premises. Recording ends. Addendum. Agents from Mobile Task Force Pi 1, City Slickers, responded to the incident and anesthetized all relevant parties. 5583 was found at a local train station and captured after some resistance. An investigation into Pizza Palace revealed that the animatronics at all other locations were non-anomalous, and no further paranormal activity has been reported since the containment of 5583. The cameras at the Costa Mesa location were installed by an employee acting on his own initiative. When interviewed, he outlined his suspicion that 5583 was in fact alive, which he had expressed fruitlessly to his coworkers. With permission from the manager, he had purchased the cameras and placed them around the building's interior. Footage from the night before the incident showed 5583 activating after the restaurant closed, and interacting with many of the attractions. Only the stage cameras were capable of recording audio. Access video logs 0602-2019. This has got to be a FNAF reference. This must be Five Nights at Freddy's. Camera 1, main entrance. The final guests depart, and after one last check, the employees follow, locking the doors behind them. 5583's head emerges from the curtain across its stage. It looks left and right several times before drawing the curtain open. 5583 steps down from the stage and stretches. It begins talking to itself. 5583 makes its way to the prize counter. It lifts the flap, walks past the prize shelves, and begins rummaging through a cardboard box labeled Lost and Found. 5583 pulls out a red cowboy hat with a plastic yellow star pinned to the crown. It removes its tiara, tossing it dismissively onto the prize counter, then places the cowboy hat on its head and inspects itself in a nearby mirror. It nods approvingly, still talking to itself. 5583 turns to examine the prizes. It takes a toy gun holster off the shelf and attaches it with some difficulty to its waist. It takes a wide stance facing the mirror, its free hand hovering over the gun. 5583 appears to threaten its own reflection for several seconds. It then pulls the gun from its holster and fires 2 suction darts. They strike the mirror, fail to stick, and fall to the floor. 5583 nods in satisfaction. It pretends to spit and mimes blowing on the barrel of the gun. The gun discharges and a third dart strikes 5583's right eyeball and sticks there. Okay. Good information, maybe we'll learn something. Invisible distress, 5583 pops. Invisible distress. 5583 drops the gun and collides with the shelf, scattering prizes on the floor. It grabs the dart with both hands and pulls.
The dart and the eyeball are removed with an audible pop. 5583 picks up the gun, places it on the counter, and strikes it repeatedly with its wand. Glitter obscures the camera view. When the image resolves, 5583 has removed the dart from its eye and the hat from its head, has returned the eye to its socket, and is considering the tiara mournfully. Trim for brevity. Camera 8, play area. 5583 is wiping down a playpen with a red... 5583 is wiping down a playpen with a wet rag. It steps back and inspects its work. 5583 notices a helium balloon on the ceiling and pantomimes exasperation. It begins talking to itself as it jumps up, reaching for the balloon with both hands. It misses twice before manifesting its wings and making a third attempt, which also fails. 5583 makes a rude gesture at the balloon, then sniffs the air. 5583 approaches the ball pit and looks down. It pantomimes distress. A veneer of what appears to be vomit can be seen on the balls. 5583 calls for help off camera, then waits for it to arrive. It does not. 5583 leaves the play area, returning 5583 leaves the play area, returning 5 minutes later with a mop and a bucket of water. It sets the bucket down, wets the mop, and begins brushing the balls. It is still talking to itself, clearly becoming frustrated. Why do you grab like the puke ones out and clean them that way? 5583 throws the mop down with a clatter and leans over the edge of the pit as if attempting to gauge its depth. 5583 slips on a puddle of water from the fallen mop, tumbling face first into the ball pit. It yelps, flailing helplessly for a few moments before sinking beneath the balls. 10 seconds later, 5583's free hand emerges from the center of the pit. It swims to the edge and hauls itself out. It lies on the floor, panting heavily for 8 seconds before noticing a large, spreading brown stain on its chest. Screaming, 5583 frantically wipes at the stain with both of its hands, further soiling itself. Begins to shake, making gagging motions as it staggers to its feet and runs off camera, trimmed for brevity. You find like poop in there? Camera 7, arcade. The camera is positioned over a row of arcade cabinets. This links to 5963. Huh? Okay. Marionette, Wisconsin. Pizza chain restaurant. Well, here's this article. This seems like either related or just something completely different, but anyway. The camera is positioned over a row of arcade cabinets. 5583 is inspecting each one, shaking a handful of game tokens in its hand. It selects the Donkey Kong cabinet before noting a sign across the screen reading, "Out of order." It throws both arms up in frustration. 5583 notices the adjacent cabinet, Sinistar, which appears to be a recent acquisition. It shrugs and inserts 2 tokens into the new cabinet. The screen flashes and 5583 takes the controls. The game begins. 5583 plays for 15 minutes, its posture suggesting it is deeply invested in the game. It becomes visibly excited. A beam of light erupts from its horn, striking the cabinet. The screen sparks and flickers off as the glass cracks. 5583 stands perfectly still for 11 seconds, then backs away. 5583 pantomimes panic until it notices the out of order sign. It looks to the left, then to the right, then removes the sign from the Donkey Kong cabinet and places it on the Sinistar cabinet, covering the crack. It looks to the left and right once more before beginning to whistle and walking out of the frame, trim for brevity. You motherfucker, that costs like $3,500. Camera to a main stage. The stage is lit and 3 animatronics are performing their routine. Sir Leaps-A-Lot, Patty King, this redirects to 4187, an anthropomorphic hamburger, and Sir Barris, a 3-headed humanoid dog. 5583 sits down at a table, carrying a rectangular birthday cake and a full box of pizza. Okay. Fucking Burger King? Burger King somewhere in Missouri. I don't know, I'm not going to read all of it yet. Someday. Patty King. 5583, sorry for the hassle. They've got so many cakes back there, I gotta... Sorry for the hassle, they've got so many cakes back there, I got decision anxiety. Then I figured, hey, cake is cake. There's no bad flavors, excepting coconut. Patty King, by my calories, Sir Barris, isn't the moon splendid tonight? 5583, we're indoors. 55, Sir Barris. Why, now that you mention it, those stars are absolutely stellar. 5583, that's implied. 5583 looks away from the stage. It picks up a metal napkin dispenser and examines its own reflection. 5583, were we always this creepy? I'm looking at my own eyes and I'm shivering. Sir Leaps-a-lot. Speaking of the moon, I'm reminded of the time I rode a shooting star, took a drink from the Milky Way, and roasted marshmallows on the sun. 5583, you tell that story every night. Sir Barris, you actually did that? 5583, and it never gets less bullshit. Sir Leaps-a-lot, just kidding. But there's something real I want to share with all these fine folks tonight. Come on, fellas. 5583, fellas? Patty King, let's take it from the top. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. The animatronics begin playing their instruments. 5583 sets down the dispenser. I feel like more than just like what it is, Five Nights at Freddy's is like a nightmare fuel. Because it's just like, there's generations of us that all witnessed it. We have like the collective consciousness of like Chuck E. Cheese busting down our door, like breaking the wall with his guitar and just like eating our brains. 5583, you know what, Pat? You're absolutely right. It's our birthday, and I'm gonna dine like the royalty you are. 5583 opens the pizza box and tears off a slice, biting into it. 5583, spoke too soon. This tastes like my mouth. 5583 takes another bite. 5583, and my mouth tastes like dry felt and old wires. 5583 finishes the slice. 5583, and I should probably throw this all away. 5583 pauses for 7 seconds, then tears off a second slice and begins chewing on it. The animatronics begin to sing. There are long pauses between each line, and the music almost immediately desynchronizes. Sir Barris, today is the big day. Today is the big day. So turn that frown right upside down and join us while we play. 5583, was it that obvious? Yeah, lads, not really in a playing mood. Sir Leaps-a-lot, don't whine and mope around, just make a happy sound. 5583, you really want to do this now. I mean, I know how you guys feel about this place. Sometimes I think you're all brainwashed. Patty King, there's nothing you can't do when the night belongs to you. 5583, alright, you've convinced me. How do I put this? Sir Barris, there's nothing we won't do to make your dreams come true. $55.83. Just vamp a bit, would you? I gotta get this off my chest. The animatronics begin an instrumental solo. Patty King's eyes cross and remain crossed for the remainder of the performance. 5583. Remember when we were first starting out? Sitting in some drafty warehouse for God knows how long until they came and dressed us like something out of a furry's DeviantArt account and put us on stage in front of all those screaming kids. Remember how we made them smile. Remember how they made us smile. I'm not smiling anymore. What happened? Yeah, 1 second. Just want to skip around with the music a little bit, and the volume's kind of like silly. Sir Leaps-a-lot, make a wish, cause it's not gonna come soon. A comet flying past the moon. 5583. No, I'm not exaggerating. Have you not been paying attention? I have. The audio feed cuts out. The animatronics' mouths continue to move. 5583. It's like the death of 1,000 cuts. First they took away my bagpipe, and then they rebranded me. I'm wearing a fucking tutu. That's not me, I hate ballet. And man, there were warning signs right from the start. They called their pizza place Pizza Palace. Did they think they were gonna master brand that shit in the 90s? The audio feed resumes. Sir Barris, it's hard to pick and choose, but you've got nothing to lose. 5583. Nitpicking? You think so? I just wish things would go back to the way they used to be. Is that so much to ask for? Patty King. Come on, everybody, don't give up yet. Give it all you got, and the wishing star will hear. Sir Leaps-a-Lot. Nothing's impossible if you put your mind to it. 5583. You think so? Dude's Pizza Palace is going down the toilet, and I don't think... You think so? Dude's Pizza Palace is going down the toilet, and I don't just mean this location. They're all doing bad. Like, high risk of bankruptcy bad. I saw it all on Derek's computer, among other things. We'll be out of business by the end of next year, maybe sooner. Patty King. Yeah, that's the spirit. Sir Leaps-a-Lot. It's working. I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Sir Leaps-a-Lot's lower jaw falls off. 5583, right? It shocked me too. If we're still here when that cash runs dry, do they dumpster us or sell us off to the spice mines or what? Patty King, I can see it. It's very bright. Come on, everybody. Let's own tonight. 5583. I've heard the kids talking about some other pizza place they think is cool, with bears and bunnies and shit. We should change with the times. We've done it before. We've got options. Universal Studios, Disneyland, FurCon. Okay, maybe not, but you get the point. I mean, we're still cool, right, guys? Sir Leaps-a-Lot. Wow. I'm on a roll, guys. I'm on a 5583, guys. Sir Leaps-a-Lot. Roll. Sir Barris. Bring it on home, people. One more time. The tape track rewinds, and the animatronics audio return to their original speed as the song restarts. 5583 watches the performance in silence for several minutes before touching each of the candles on the cake with its horn, lighting them. 5583, happy birthday, fellas. 5583 blows out the candles and cuts off a corner of the cake. The animatronics continue to sing as 5583 mechanically masticates. The animatronics continue to sing as 5583 mechanically masticates the entire cake, slice by slice, staring into space. Lock ends. 5583 periodically asks after the status of its fellow animatronics. Staff are to advise 5583 that they were relocated to a more successful franchise location upstate. I don't really know what to think about all of this. The only thing that I get out of this, the like core takeaway, is that this got me into Five Nights at Freddy's. I think this is what started it right here. I was like completely just maybe one day I probably won't develop an interest. This is what got me invested. The characters are all robots. Yeah. I never really thought of it that way. It was more just like the horror game. I had played the original FNAF. I think like a demake. But that's besides the point. I never understood the lore at all. Now I kind of get it a little better. I might not be a super fan. I might not get invested at all. But this got me interested at least like a little bit. Animal, autonomous, biological, co-authored, electronic, equine, Euclid, humanoid, indestructible, light, on guard 43, robotic, sapient. Okay, that was 5583. It was such an odd image to begin with. Well, first of all, my intuition was correct, but second of all, interesting, good results that I didn't anticipate. Okay, well, there's a Site 43, by the way, if you wanted to check it out. A lot of these sites have just a lot of information, so it's hard to really immediately glean what you want out of it, or what you could get out of it. But yeah, let's move on to the next one.
which is 281, mainline. Okay. I don't know, I feel like it looks better like this, but let me know. 281. Item number 281, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. 281 is currently contained within Maximum Security Storage Locker 18E on Level 7 of Research, Reliquary, and Containment Site 76. 281's lithium-ion battery pack is to remain plugged into the site's main power grid, unless used in testing. Necessary cables have been supplied and are stored with the object. Because of the nature of the object's anomalous properties, testing on 281 is to be authorized by the Level 4 senior member of research staff currently assigned to the Because of the nature of the object's anomalous properties, testing on 281 is to be authorized by the Level 4 senior member of research staff currently assigned to this project. D-Class personnel used in testing are not to be informed of the nature of 281. Okay. Description: 281 is a makeshift device measuring approximately 25 centimeters by 35 centimeters by 20 centimeters. Built into the device is a high-capacity lithium-ion laptop battery to provide power. In addition, the object incorporates a variety of components from such diverse sources. As a Philips brand alarm clock, a digital kitchen timer of unknown make and model, a NEC PC8201A, portable computer, and a USB keypad, brand unknown. Attempts to reverse engineer it have thus far not yielded any significant results. 281 is currently not believed to be functioning as intended by its creator. 281's effects become apparent when the following tasks are performed in the correct sequence. 1. Subject sets an alarm using the alarm clock interface. 2. Subject waits for the alarm to sound and presses the alarm clock snooze button. The depression of the snooze button triggers the creation of a localized temporal anomaly around 281. How did I know this is going to be a time-based, time factor? The depression of the snooze button triggers the creation of a localized temporal anomaly around 281. The area affected is a spherical field with an approximate radius of 6 meters, centered on 281 and is designated 281-1. Personnel and items outside this anomaly are not affected in any way. How the device creates the temporal anomaly is unknown at this time. The kitchen timer component of 281 will display 9 when 281-1 is created and begin counting down. Setting the kitchen timer to any other amount of minutes or seconds prior to activation does not appear to have any effect on 281's functioning. Within 281-1, time passes at a highly increased rate, with 9 minutes elapsing inside it compared to approximately 1 millisecond outside. From the perspective of those inside the temporal anomaly, time moves at a normal rate while outside of 281-1, time appears to have effectively stopped. Footnote 1. This effect is similar in nature to the Wonder Zoom feature of 2445. While no link between the creation of these objects is believed to exist, examination of this documentation provides further insight into the nature of paratechnological temporal distortions. Subjects within 281-1 can move around within its limits, but attempts to have subjects cross from an active instance of 281-1 into an area beyond its influence have invariably resulted in subjects undergoing massive and acute cellular disruption along the line separating those parts inside and those outside of 281-1. A similar effect has been observed on subjects and objects brought into an instance of 281-1 from outside its area of effect. It has proven possible to move 281-1 by transporting 281 to a different location while active, but any materials
biological or otherwise, immediately suffer a massive cellular and molecular disruption as described above. Any organic material present within 281.1 when the device is activated is subject to normal biological processes over the period of time that lapses inside of 281.1. To those outside of 281.1, no time appears to have passed. If subjects present in an active instance of 281.1 have moved during the period of time 281.1 was active, they will seem to have teleported to their new location. As the timer reaches 0 minutes and 0 seconds, the alarm sounds again and time inside and outside of the instance of 281.1 are instantaneously resynchronized. Due to the abrupt nature of this event, subjects inside 281.1 when the 9-minute period expires suffer effects resembling severe decompression sickness. Known treatments for that condition have been proven to be equally effective in treating 281 test subjects. So this seems to be, to me, sort of primitive time travel technology. Especially if we're saying that it seems to function in a way that is unintended. Maybe. From the original creator's intention. I don't know, maybe. Addendum 281A01. Recovery and preliminary containment notes. On double blank 20 double blank, a remote monitoring station picked up encrypted transmissions emanating from a location in the blank mountains. After decryption, the transmissions were found to be reporting progress on a project referred to as Full Circle, and 281 was secured by a Foundation airborne recovery team during a raid on a fortified hacker. On double blank 20 double blank. On double blank 20 double blank, a remote monitoring station picked up encrypted transmissions emanating from a location in the blank mountains. After decryption, the transmissions were found to be reporting progress on a project referred to as Full Circle, and 281 was secured by a Foundation airborne recovery team during a raid on a fortified hiker's cabin. The device's creator, a 36-year-old African-American male identified post-mortem as blank blank. Blank exhibited erratic and aggressive behavior when encountered. No evidence exists of an affiliation with any known GOI or other organization. Huh. Yeah, this seems kind of like primitive time travel technology. But I'm not sure if this was, if it's Project Full Circle, maybe an initial creator, it was sent forward, the future sent it back, or vice versa. But it was like, a calculi for, we need the Foundation to study this, and we need, an entry point. I feel like this is the era of the messy Foundation, though, so I'm not sure if they just killed the guy for no reason. Huh. Appliance electronic rewrite safe temporal. Arguably maybe not safe if you tell someone to breach the boundary somehow, either inside or outside. 2445, we don't really need to look at the whole thing, but Wisconsin? What's with all the Wisconsin Foundation pages, huh? 2445 during initial recovery near blank, Wisconsin. Wondertainment. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Most of the time whenever I scroll these, I don't even pause it properly. So, one day I'll return to these. Anyway, let's move on. 282. Eventually I'll have a perfect layout where all of this will look proper. But until then, I'll just keep cropping it. 282, item number 282, object class safe. Special containment procedures. 282 should be kept in a containment locker outfitted with a standard array of explosive, chemical, biological, and mimetic high-level defenses. Personnel entering 282's containment must be verified with a retinal scanner, and no experimentation sessions lasting longer than 3 hours are permitted. Excuse me. Description: 282 is a children's toy recovered from the Truk Atoll in Micronesia. 282 is the shape of a set of devil or juggling sticks, apparently made from locally available materials. Historical cultural sources show that 282 was originally used by natives of its island of origin as part of an elaborate annual ritual known as blank blank, literally translated as he moves, to bring good luck for the following year. Numerous anomalies on the island alerted the Foundation to 282's presence, including exceptionally long harvest seasons, several unknown species of fruit growing locally, and reports by missionaries of strange lights and noises, and packs of children who appeared identical. Full research on 282's properties is pending. Addendum 282A. Cleanup operations at the Truk Atoll have recovered large amounts of information, including a nearly complete set of use instructions for 282. Operations in the atoll will be reduced, and despite apprehension from teams assisting in the recovery of 282, full testing as to whether anomalous properties can be recreated will continue. I added the word "the" in there, but whatever, it's fine. Addendum 282B. Personnel of level 4 or above may view Incident Report 282-CB as of double blank, quadruple blank. Any attempts to recreate the effects of 282 are punishable by termination. All remaining information to be classified. All remaining information is to be classified. Data expunged. What was this? Operations in the atoll will be reduced, and despite apprehension from teams assisting in recovery of 282, full testing as to whether anomalous properties can be recreated will continue. I don't know. Whatever. I added the word "the" somewhere in there. Addendum 282C. Materials seized from a residence on the Truk Atoll resemble an incomplete replica of 282. As the replica, seemingly in the process of creation, demonstrates no anomalous properties, it has been added to 282's containment until such a time as we can ascertain its nature. Foundation-operated coercion revealed little information as to how or why it was created, but did indicate that more civilians in the area of recovery may know how or be interested in creating similar replicas. Whether the recovered replica is identical to 282 is unknown. But we did confirm this is like a memetic hazard. So, Incident Report 282-CB. Personal log of Dr. J. Blank Garrison. Double blank, quadruple blank. Attempts to recreate the ritual described in documents 282-14 through 17 are slow going, mostly due to the exhausting requirements of using 282. First of all, it took us half a week to find anyone at the site who can actually use juggling sticks. For reference, researcher M. Blank Munoz. Excuse me, I knew the pronunciation too. I still flubbed my tongue. For reference, researcher M. Blank Munoz. what? Munoz. For reference, researcher M. Blank Munoz, a medical technology analyst, was ultimately chosen as the subject. Second, 282 are apparently very difficult to use, compared to ordinary juggling sticks, so he had to spend a few weeks working on that. Third, and most persistent and annoyingly, the instructions we have call for the subject to juggle with 282 constantly for 36 hours, with a low rate of error and no dropping the stick. And that's the reason it's taken us 2 months so far. They can talk about dedication and project funding and results, but the stamina required is damn near superhuman. It's been suggested that we apply an intravenous drip of caffeine and electrolytes to maintain alertness, and I'm willing to try that. Yeah, this is a feat of superhuman strength, intelligence, attention, physics, practical application. This is on the level of the whatever we called it in the Netflix documentary. The marathon that eats its youth or whatever. The Uberman's sleep schedule. It's like the 60-hour marathon. And most people only make it by like 6 hours. Most, like, the people that pass only get like a 6-hour time differential. Most people just give up. A lot of people that like make it far enough, their feet like give out in their shoes and their shoes break and whatnot. This sounds like on the level of that. Hour 0. Subject stands at a 10 meter by 10 meter blast chamber that has been prepared according to recovered instructions. Among other preparations, subject stands in the center of a 1.5 meter diameter circle marked with native flowers with a goat's head at the anterior point. Surrounding the circle is a 3 meter circle marked with a mixture of goat and chicken entrails mashed by hand with wooden implements. Outside of this is a final 3.5 meter circle marked with chicken feathers, chicken and goat footprints in ash, and a poultice of several herbs and human blood. 1 chicken skeleton and 1 goat skeleton have been laid around the room, outside the perimeter of the final circle. The subject, medical technician M. Munoz, with attached intravenous drip, stands in the center with 282. Subject begins to use 282. Hour 1. Subject continues with no major errors in play or reports of anomalies. Vital signs are all normal. 6 hours already. He hasn't dropped it yet. I'm very hopeful that this time will be it. I watch through the plate glass, get nervous every time he fumbles, every time. It's gotten a little ridiculous. I'm worried it might be an effect of the SCP, so I told the standing guard, but I think it's more stress than a mental pull. Going to call a secondary observer in and sleep on the cot in here. Woke up, he's still going. Note: instruments in testing chamber showed that the subject's heart rate had increased slightly by this point in time. So he went... I thought we were exaggerating, or this was like hallucination, but no. Hours 1 to 6 to 18. Holy shit. That's some dedication. Hour 18. Subject notes sounds of laughter from inside the testing chamber. Outside observer notes nothing abnormal. Hour 23. Subject becomes increasingly paranoid, claiming that the experiment won't work and asking if he can stop. Encouraged to continue juggling, and at no point does the subject drop the stick. Hypothesized to be a stress reaction. Hour 26. Subject claims to feel a breeze in the chamber. Signs of strong winds are apparent when animal skeletons outside the circles are moved as if being blown. However, none of the flowers in the first circle are disturbed, nor is the subject's play impaired. Okay. This is kind of intense. Hour 27. All lights in chamber abruptly dim. In addition, the outer circle appears to completely and suddenly disappear from view. Hour 27. All lights in chamber abruptly dim. In addition, the outer circle appears to completely and suddenly disappear from view. Signs of wind, despite the enclosed and subterranean nature of the blast chamber, have increased. Subject is encouraged to continue juggling. Note: later records show no electrical issues with chamber lights, hypothesized to be an effect of the SCP. Hour 30. Subject reports feeling cold. Sensors affirm that the temperature inside the chamber has dropped 20 degrees. Continues juggling. I nearly can't believe he's kept it moving this long. Obviously the error frequency was expected to go up as the time goes longer, but he hasn't dropped it once, and the error rate seems to have decreased, like it's getting ingrained. Here comes the final stretch. Looks tired. I don't blame him. Yeah, this is like you're way past the final hurdle of like hallucinatory effort, where it's like, okay, I gotta give up. I'm like 16 hours. No. You like keep going. So hour 32. You're there. You're like anticipating it hotly. In fact, like, well, wait, what's gonna happen next? No, we're right there actually. Hour 32. Second circle moves as if being blown inwards, then disappears entirely. Subject makes no note of this. After 10 minutes, animal skeletons around the perimeter of the chamber stand up, despite lack of muscle or connective tissue. Subject becomes unresponsive, muttering quietly. Hour 33, final circle disappears and lights dim again until area inside chamber is completely dark. Observers note a voice exclaiming, "He moves," before sounds of juggling cease and a clattering noise is heard. Class 2 lockdown is ordered. Note: further analysis through infrared camera reveals that at hour 33:14 minutes, the subject's knees buckle, and after muttering loudly before footage is interrupted by several bright flashes, apparently only visible to infrared sensors. During this time, subject disappears entirely, and 282 falls to the ground. So 36 is more just like our error room. 33:14, okay. Hour 34, sounds of juggling resume from inside the chamber. Note: infrared cameras showed that a figure not corresponding to M. Munoz appeared in the testing chamber, recovered 282 from the floor, and continued juggling while laughing quietly. Hour 35, several more infrared flashes occur, some of which now translate into flashes in the visible spectrum. Containment chamber is very dark. At 35:28 minutes hours, side of containment chamber is ruptured by a sudden heat measuring over quadruple blank degrees Celsius. Camera footage shows the unknown force proceeding to destroy obstacles in its path via obliteration, moving up an emergency stairwell, damaging stairwell but without compromising it structurally. At ground level, it proceeds to carve a route through the facility until the perimeter of Site double blank is reached, at which point it is no longer seen. All of the above take place within 4.7 seconds. Nearby personnel report seeing only a bright hot light. Note: camera footage shows that upon compromising the perimeter of the facility, the force paused for several milliseconds, then disappeared, as opposed to exiting the facility. Infrared footage from the testing chamber shows that it is completely empty at this time. Within several seconds, light in testing chamber returns to normal. Subject has returned to testing chamber, collapsed on the floor, with 282 nearby as if dropped. In addition, a fine layer of ash covers the testing room floor. Paramedic teams rush in. Subject is currently undergoing treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder and is expected to resume normal operations shortly. You wanna go again? After action report from interview with subject M. Munoz. I'm juggling, right? Like I've been doing for the last, whole day. Then everything picks up like I'm standing in a redacted hurricane. And I feel this thing. Don't even know what it is. But it was there and I could... Christ, everything went black. And I knew that I had moved. That I was somewhere else because I knew there wasn't a floor or ceiling or those goddamn sticks where I was. Just nothing. Really. And the darkness. Then it was there. God damn it, I knew it. That there was something else there, even though I couldn't see or hear or feel it. Because there's nothing to see or hear or feel. It was just waiting there, keeping me there. Waiting for me to do something. I curled up in this little ball. Tried to make it not notice me. But it was there breathing down my neck the whole time. In the end, I just told it I wanted to leave. That was it. Really? Weird. Okay. Huh. Additional data. Over sextuple blank, that is 6 blank, or whatever the fuck the word would be, over 6 blank, and property damage was caused by Incident 282-CB, and containment of 3 separate SCPs were compromised. Because of this, current sanctions on experimentation with 282 were put in place. Ectoentropic, game, ritual, safe, toy. Safe is debatable. The thing unleashes a beam of light that like melts stuff with 4,000 degrees Celsius or whatever. Yeah. Go ahead and call it safe. Item number 283, object class safe. Special containment procedures. Due to the strange but harmless nature of 283, it is to be kept in a secure box against the east wall of room E107 at Site 137. Aside from that, 283 can be handled by any personnel as long as they are observed by at least a level 3 member of staff, who is to keep watch over 283 to prevent petty theft. Description: for all intents and purposes, 283 is an ordinary rock, slightly mottled and worn from age and collisions, made of dark gray granite. It weighs just over 1 kilogram and it is 10 centimeters in length. However, instead of following the usual route of gravity, 283 is pulled in the direction of exact magnetic east. Close study reveals that 283 is, in fact, falling around the Earth as well as being affected by its odd gravitational pull. The rock was first found after an investigation of poltergeist activity in blank Australia. Reported as the phenomenon known as min-min lights, which were in fact known to be blank. See document data expunged for Dr. Blank Blank's notes on the subject. According to witnesses, the rock purportedly hurtled across the plains, through the walls of a house and a car, and was eventually stopped by a mobile trailer home, where it remained lodged in the metal wall until the following morning. At first, Agent Blank believed it to be attracted by some magnetic force, although subsequent testing has proved this false. 283 is an ordinary granite cobble, apart from falling in the wrong direction. Agent Blank accidentally dropped 283 and was forced to chase after it. The retrieval involved a minor head injury, but confirmed suspicions about its nature. Note from Dr. Wood. It has come to the attention of the higher level personnel that someone has been stealing 283 for use as a paperweight. I don't care how zen it looks. Any further misdemeanors will be dealt with severely. Gravity safe. Well, this one's fairly by the book. We have some raw science right here. Okay. That's kind of neat. Love to see that. 284. Item number 284. Object class safe. I can't believe we're already 100 past my favorite. Okay. Special containment procedures. 284-1 and 284-2 are to be kept under minimal security protocols, with occasional off-site trips when approved by level 4 or higher personnel. During these trips, they are to be accompanied by a minimum of 1 level 1 researcher and 1 level 1 field agent. Their quarters are a standard humanoid containment room with 2 beds. When offered separate containment quarters, they replied that privacy is moot. Description: 284-1 and 284-2 are twins born single blank, double blank, quadruple blank in blank, Illinois. Though they appear to be normal, they are dizygotic twins who share a single functional brain. 284-1 is female, 1.72 meters tall, containing the left side of the brain. 284-2 is male, 1.79 meters tall, containing the right side of the brain. The portions that are not associated with either lobe are data redacted. In both subjects, the size of the possessed lobe is approximately 50% larger than normal, presumably to allow for maintaining function of 2 bodies at once. It has been found that while the subjects have separate personalities, they share memories, skills, knowledge, physical sensation, and have shown limited levels of emotional synergy. Though there is no way to know for certain, they claim to have taught themselves how to block out sensory information from each other to varying degrees. Vision and hearing can be blocked out completely, while taste, smell, and touch can be weakened. Doing so is a choice of the one receiving the information, not the one experiencing it. Huh. With physical skills, it should be noted that while both subjects have the knowledge of proper technique, muscle tissue only develops to properly execute the skills efficiently and with significant endurance in the subject who physically learned the skill. Well, that's incredible. Okay. While the subjects do not show any advantage in proficiency for skills associated with their respective lobes, it has been found that when separated by a significant distance, they have. While the subjects do not show any advantage in proficiency for skills associated with their respective lobes, it has been found that when separated by a significant distance, they each have delayed responses from the other subject's lobe. Also of note is that both subjects seem incapable of remaining awake more than 16 minutes after the other has fallen asleep, and both awaken at the same time whether allowed to sleep until they wake up on their own or woken from their sleep separately. Probably just has something to do with like brainwave states. It's just way too hard to like maintain that. I don't know. Addendum 284.1, test log 284.1. 284.1 and 284.2 are... (284.1 and 284.2) were placed at separate ends of the facility. A team of researchers, including 2 surgeons, removed the top of 284.2's cranium and proceeded to apply an electrode to various points on the brain to gauge reactions to the stimuli. In all instances, 284.1 experiences the same sensation or physical reaction as 284.2. Addendum 284.2. Researcher note. Today it was noted that while 284.1 was playing the piano in Dr. Blank's office, 284.2's fingers began twitching erratically. When brought to Dr. Blank's office, it was discovered that the twitching of 284.2's fingers were in time with the motions of 284.1's fingers as she played. Further study of this phenomenon is being scheduled. I think this just has further implications for what metahumans could be. I don't know. You could even just argue that like genetic abnormalities or anomalies, or even just slightly less documented but well described biology. So intersex, for example. It exists. It's just that the documentation is there and it's not widespread. The idea is we have a telepathic link here. Alive, humanoid, safe, sapient, telepathic. The concept I'm really seeing is that, like, duplicate this generational set. Have like a spread of, I don't know, 192 generations of humans. It's one generation set, but copy it 192 times. I don't know, arbitrary number. You'll probably observe a lot of the same thing in high frequency. It's probably just a subset of humanity, where we already have like this psychic power, telepathic link or whatever, but split the brain functions into 2 siblings. And probably the telepathic effect is like more obviously amplified. Maybe not even like literally, but like observing the effect of it is amplified. It's super obvious to us. Whereas, the effect maybe not be observable otherwise. Alright. Quick break, BRB.
Okay. Let's continue onward. My apologies, I didn't even see chat. I was assuming we didn't have anybody here this whole time. This is a good SCP, well written. The twins. Oh my dog. I'm not sure which one you were talking about. We've had a good few ones so far. I mean, if I'm gonna start off and it makes me wanna figure out more about FNAF. And before this, I was not really interested in Five Nights at Freddy's. That's something. I don't know. The temporal anomaly one was really good though. I like that. Just like the gravity rock, kind of by the book, but it was more well fleshed out in my opinion. Okay. Let's move on. 285, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. 285 is to be kept in a Level 3 humanoid containment chamber. Level 3 containment chamber. I see the Roman numerals. For some reason that trips me up. Special Containment Procedures. 285 is to be kept in a Level 3 humanoid containment chamber on Site 49's B-Wing. This redirects to 3036. Huh? Okay. This is a really long one. Dr. Henderson. The whistleblowers. Okay. 285 is to be kept in a Level 3 humanoid containment chamber on Site 49's B-Wing. 285 is to be given basic amenities. Following 285's recent cooperation with the Foundation, it is allowed exactly 2 hours of free roaming Site 43's botanical gardens, with supervision by at least one guard if it so chooses. Personnel are not to discuss 285's past with Person of Interest 6938 without approval of Site 43's director. If this occurs, authorized technical staff are to manually remove the information from 285B via use of Personnel are not to discuss 285's past with Person of Interest 6938 without approval of Site 43's director. If this occurs, authorized technical staff are to manually remove the information from 285B via use of 285A. 285B instances are not to be edited without the permission of the administrator of Site 43's technical staff. 285 is to never be given its full abilities back under any circumstances. Description: 285 is an anomalous humanoid entity with no defined shape or internal structure, the exception being 285A, which consistently manifests itself on the object's back. 285's body changes sporadically, with no pattern among the alterations. Despite the trauma 285 incurs as a result of this bodily mutation, it will not at any point display signs of homeostatic distress. Subject claims it cannot control these changes. These changes include, but are not limited to: bullet, loss and growth of new limbs; bullet, variable size and shape of body parts; bullet, loss and growth of height and mass. 285A appears to be an Ethernet port. Footnote 1: the standard method for connecting computers within a network for wired connections, which allows access to 285's internal database. When accessed by a computer capable of wired connections between networks, various files are capable of being accessed. These files, 285B, contain various text files, audio files, cognito hazards, and videos. Roughly 90% of all files have been corrupted. These files, 285B, contain various text files, audio files, cognito hazards, and videos.
Roughly 90% of all files have been corrupted. The cause of this corruption is currently unknown. Additionally, 285 is only capable of accessing files that were formed within its own database. Investigations into 285B and its contents reveal that editing of 285B could cause external changes on 285's body and psychological state. To what extent this is possible without causing permanent damage to 285 is currently unknown. It is believed that Person of Interest 6938 used this ability to evade GOI 102, Unusual Incidents Unit. Wait, what? This is where the UIU started, or this links to the UIU directly? GOI 102 is UIU? This links to the UIU. So GOI 102 is UIU. Or they're part of UIU. I don't know. I don't even know what GOI stands for. Maybe I've read the definition before. Is that government office of interest or something? I don't know. Investigations into 285B and its contents reveal that editing of 285B could cause external changes on 285's body and psychological state. To what extent this is possible without causing permanent damage to 285 is currently unknown. It is believed that Person of Interest 6938 used this ability to evade GOI 102, Unusual Incidents Unit, through consistent use of editing 285's facial structure and body type, along with editing in thaumatological-based defense capabilities to defend against GOI 102 agents. This is high science fiction. I love this. Recovery 285 was recovered following an attempt to arrest. Recovery 285 was recovered following an attempted arrest involving itself in an unknown individual, currently believed to be the. Recovery 285 was recovered following an attempted arrest involving itself in an unknown individual, currently believed to be 285's creator. In Las Vegas, Nevada, 285 and the unknown individual, Person of Interest 6938, were initially pulled over for speeding before the officer discovered that Person of Interest 6938 had attacked a federal building in redacted California. This federal building was later revealed to have been under the direct control of GOI 102 and was used as a prison for anomalous humanoids. The attack by Person of Interest 6938 and 285 ended in the deaths of 34 GOI 102 personnel and the release of roughly 70% of the prison population. Wow. So this is integral to the UIU's lore. Okay. The officer attempted to arrest 285 and Person of Interest 6938, but was attacked by 285. Person of Interest 6938 then escaped, leaving 285 with the officer. 285 was then arrested and put into GOI 102 custody, before eventually being given over to the Foundation following an anomalous trade of information between GOI 102 and the Foundation. Both local law enforcement and federal agents were unable to locate Person of Interest 6938. Anomalous pathways located in Nevada are currently being investigated with joint Foundation UIU task forces. Okay. Interview log. Interviewer Dr. Henderson. Subject 285. Begin log. Dr. Henderson, what is your purpose? 285. I don't know. Dr. Henderson, how do you not know? 285. I just don't know. I have an idea of why I was created, but I'm not too sure. Dr. Henderson, well, tell me why. Dr. Henderson, well, tell me why you think you were created. Sorry about my desk. 285. Well, to entertain kids, originally, I think. Although my purpose was originally... Pause. Altered, for lack of a better word. Dr. Henderson. How do you think you were altered? 285. It's hard to explain. I remember some things perfectly, but others I can't even think of. I think he was mad and wanted to hurt someone, and he used me to help hurt them. I hope he didn't succeed. I hope he didn't succeed. Dr. Henderson. Why do you not want him to succeed? 285. I don't want to hurt anyone. Dr. Henderson. Then why did you attack that officer? 285 pauses. 285. I just did as I was told. But I think that's the only time he ever made me hurt someone. At least I think he did. Dr. Henderson. Why do you think your creator put these various files onto you? 285. Insurance, I guess. Dr. Henderson. Explain. 285. You see, I remember my, database, for lack of a better word, being biological in nature. My brain, taps forehead, contains all the information in my database. Even if I can't access anything he put on me, or anything he didn't want me to see. Dr. Henderson. So if your brain were to be damaged or if you were to die, all the files within your database would disappear. 285. Not disappear as much as just become corrupted. But yes, that's the idea. He wanted to make sure that if I was to get captured by the UIU, or whatever it was called, that they wouldn't have been able to read my files. He really hated those guys. Maybe that's what made him mad in the first place. I remember whenever I brought it up, he'd get angry and yell at me a lot. I cried a little, but not a lot. He hates when I cry. It's not my fault that he created me to cry. This is a biological computer person. Dr. Henderson. Did he bring anything up that maybe would have explained why he was so angry? 285. No, but the way he sounded, it was like the end of the world. 285. No, but the way he sounded, it was like the end of the world to him. That's why he created me, I think. Why he altered me. He wanted to use me as something, as a weapon, I guess? Whatever it was. He wanted to hurt the UIU. He used to go on and on about how they were evil and deserved to be destroyed because they took everything from him, and how they all needed to die. He used to go on and on about how they were evil and deserved to be destroyed because he took everything. He used to go on and on about how they were evil and deserved to be destroyed because they took everything from him, and how they all need to die. It was scary. Sorry, I initially messed up one thing and I just kept skipping words. Dr. Henderson. Well, the UIU is not evil, I can say that with confidence. 285. How though? He told me they kidnap and murder innocent people who have done nothing but exist. Told me how they made being alive hell for him and his friends and family. I've never had a family, but that must hurt, right? Dr. Henderson. Whatever your creator told you is inaccurate to reality. 285. If you say so, Doctor, I trust you more than him anyways. That's kind of odd. Okay. Doesn't trust the creator. Doesn't trust the person that created them. Dr. Henderson, why do you think your creator left you behind? 285. He was done with me. Dr. Henderson, how was he done with you? 285. He had done what he wanted to do, whatever it was. I guess I was just one more loose end. Dr. Henderson, if you truly were a loose end, as you described, why did he not kill you himself? 285. I think he was. And after uploading all the files into my database, he was gonna do that, but got interrupted. And he panicked. He just hoped that the cop would just finish me off. Glad he didn't do that, you know. I like living. Better than whatever I was before. Huh. Dr. Henderson. Why do you think you wanted to get rid of all the files in your database? 285. Something was there. Something about some other people. He did something to them. Stole something real important to them. I think he was a part of them at one point, but left. Maybe I was a part of them too. I don't know. But I know that whatever group it was, he didn't want them coming after him. Or finding me. Dr. Henderson. Do you remember the name of this group? 285. I don't know, man. I remember him talking about some fucking stoners. But that's pretty much it. Unlock. fucking stoners redirects to Gamers Against Weed. Huh? Oh, Gamers Against Weed Hub. I didn't read that right because part of the window's obscured. Gamers Against Weed Hub. The fuck? Jock Jams Volume 6. Hey, got a second. There's this thing me and some other people do in another channel. Gamers Against Weed. The name is ironic. Anyways, if you're interested, I could probably get you an invite. Wait, what am I thinking? I should probably tell you what it is first. Sick Semper Cannabis. Gamers Against Weed. Kevin, you are just mad because you are angry. Why do I recognize this screenshot? What video game is this from? Is that like Counter-Strike? That must be like Gary's mod. No, that's like TF2. What? Okay. This is like a joke post area, huh? Huh. Okay. This is like this must be a hub for like joke posts. Huh. Mr. Sex Number. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Playing games is bad for your health. Mr. Full Combo. Mrs. I am having the fun of my entire life. Okay. Frau Harlequina. Jude's Bizarre Adventure. Phantom Blunt. Bong Rip Tendency. Keef Dust Crusaders. Okay. We got some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure references. Whoa. That's funny. There's multiple pages for this. Alright. Addendum 285.1. The following collection of documents are filed in chronological order based off of documents from 285's internal database and GOI 102 related documents. The purpose of this collection is to provide a possible time frame regarding 285's creation and POI 6938's overall motive and goal. Document A. Access granted. The following document was a deleted audio file believed to be addressed to 285's original owners. Data corrupted. I don't give a damn what Blunt thinks or says. This redirects to 2293. Is this like an organization and we have like code names that are like weird names? Is that what it is? Huh. I don't give a damn what Blunt says. I don't give a damn what Blunt thinks or says. I need him. Without him, I wouldn't have gotten this far. The damn feds are crawling all over the damn place. And this guy's the only thing keeping them away from me. If anything, you should be glad he's around. Better for them to be mind-fucked into oblivion than just killed, right? Man, you really gave this guy some sweet powers. You sure this guy was meant to be a kiddie thing? I thought they were meant to be pacifists or something. Not that I'm complaining. You know, that's the one thing I always hated about you two. You're too damn soft. You don't ever fight back. You just sit on your ass and make jokes and do nothing. Yeah, it was fun what we did. For a while at any rate. Then Jordan got taken. You two wouldn't understand what it's like to have to take care of someone, look after someone, do some... Pause. Some real shitty things to protect the ones that you love. Data corrupted. And every damn time I tried asking you and the others about what we should do about Jordan. About how the Ravens took him. Remember what you fucking said, Jude? He got what he deserved? Stumbling over my fucking tongue. Remember what you fucking said, Jude? He got what he deserved? Well, I remember that. Data corrupted. Maybe we need a couple of terrorists. Maybe we need a couple of terrorists in their world to knock the man a peg or two down. Data corrupted. What the fuck? Document B. Access granted. Document currently believed to be in reference to Jordan from Document A. Initial report. Electronic copy below as per Federal Records Act. UIU file 2016 982. Codename Merrymaker. Summary. Suspect capable of performing high-class thaumatology and minor reality warping. Possible connections to the Serpent's Hand, an anomalous terrorist organization, and is primarily active in Southern California and Nevada. Possible member of the secretive location known as the Library, the main base of the Serpent's Hand. These just link to the Serpent's Hand's hub and Wanderer's Library. Okay, I don't know what that is. What is this? Whatever the Wanderer's Library is. I'm just going to show you like the very front. I have no clue what this is. Okay. And the Serpent's Hand hub, I guess, if we will here. Yes, there it is. Anyway. Suspect description / capabilities. Name unknown, but has consistently given out the first name Jordan. Irregularity cross-reference. Human, magician, terrorist, American, Serpent's Hand. Physical description. Footnote 2. Textual footnote. Subject to consistent changes. Sex. Height. Weight, build, race, hair, eyes, identifying attributes at the table. Male, 72 inches, 189 pounds, large, white, brown hair, blue eyes. Tattoos depicting a hand strangling an American eagle. Hammer smashing a 5-pointed star. And several hands tugging at a logo with 3 arrows pointing inwards. Capabilities. Subject is capable of performing offensive thaumatic spells. These spells include fire-based projectiles, sentient flesh-based creations formed from his own epidermis. Footnote 3. Textual footnote. Currently unknown if the suspect is capable of advanced regeneration, and capable of forming ways. Another goddamn magic system is what this links to. These ways are not permanent, and are incredibly unstable. In all cases, ways produced by the subject are incapable of transporting him at long distances. These ways also cause temporary physical and mental effects to the suspect. Suspect suffers from vomiting and nausea after forming ways. Okay. It's just another fucking magic system. Purpose, motive. Primarily motivated by hatred of organizations or agencies responsible for preserving and maintaining consensus reality, along with curbing activity in the anomalous community. Believes that the only way anomalous humans can continue to exist is by the destruction of any and all normalcy agencies. Willing to cooperate with any group or person as long as this primary motive is maintained. Modus operandi. Suspect often works with terrorist organizations, specifically the Serpent's Hand, various anarchist sects, and, on one occasion, with a currently unidentified anomalous terrorist group. Its cooperation is often in tandem with the organization's opposition to normalcy agencies. This reads a lot like counter-ops, so this does kind of feel like UIU, even though I don't really have the full context. Footnote 4. Oh, anarchist, yeah? Anarchist is the colloquial term among paranormal agencies to describe anomalous artwork. Oh, okay. Anomalous terrorist group, links to Chaos Insurgency Hub. I believe we've seen that already. For chaos, for chaos. No, we're not playing the game right now, so not for chaos. Behavior. Behaves with very little remorse or empathy towards non-anomalous entities. Exhibits unwillingness to socialize with other people, both anomalous and non-anomalous. Okay. Evidence. Destroyed unit patrol car. Patrol car has suffered major scorching on the exterior and the interior of the vehicle. Analysis provides evidence of external source. Additionally, the hood of the car has been found to have been smashed in by an external force. Analysis of the vehicle suggests that the scorch marks were caused by a fire produced through Analysis of the vehicle suggests that the scorch marks were caused by a fire produced through thaumatology. Body camera footage. Footage shows suspect assaulting and killing 15 federal agents after an anomalous arms deal goes wrong. Footage of way. Footage of a way produced by the suspect. Bureau record. Current status: detained at classified California. Not allowed to contact anyone or receive packages from family or associates. Indefinite solitary confinement. Crimes: murder of a federal officer, destruction of property, anomalous arms dealing, drug ownership, drug trafficking, drug manufacturing, treason, terrorism, murder of a police officer, theft of federal property, speeding, arson, selling paratech without a license, performing thaumatology without a license, driving without a license, evasion of arrest. Performing thaumatology without a license is a crime, listed here. Sentencing, capital punishment. History of UIU action. 5/22/2016. Suspect first appeared aiding a Serpent Hand operative escape unit patrol vehicles with a currently unidentified Ford pickup truck. Used his thaumatological abilities to destroy 5 of the 7 cars. The suspect and the accompanying operative escaped after driving their vehicle through a way produced at the bottom of a canyon, of which they had driven off of. 6/9/2016. Suspect encountered near classified California selling anomalous drugs in a local club. When arrested by 3 agents, he formed 3 biological entities of varying shapes and sizes to attack the agents. Suspect escaped via a way he had produced while the entities began attacking civilians in order to distract unit agents from apprehending him. 15 civilians and 2 officers were killed by the time the 3 entities were destroyed. Wish my playlists were a little easier to manage. 6/11/2016. Along with 5 individuals belonging to an unidentified anomalous terrorist organization, the suspect set fire to a unit-controlled prison, destroying various anomalous objects and persons in the resulting attack. 6/15/2016. Cornered by 5 unit agents in classified Nevada, almost arrested before 4 of the 5 agents were killed by a controlled thaumatological blast of lightning coming from another entity with the suspect. The suspect and the entity escaped through a way. Footnote 5. Textual footnote. See UIU File 2016-212. At this time, the Bureau considered making the suspect a #1 priority on the West Coast. 8/22/2016. After 2 months of silence, the suspect was encountered with 15 Serpent Hands agent while breaking into a unit-controlled warehouse. Around 30% of the contents within the warehouse was stolen before unit agents were able to interfere with the operation. The operatives engaged in combat with the agents before being subdued by the operatives. The agents were then locked inside of the warehouse, with the suspect setting fire to the building. There were no surviving agents. 9/1/2016. Suspect was pulled over for speeding. When the officer discovered the suspect's criminal nature, she attempted to arrest him. The suspect attacked and killed the officer. The Bureau officially declares the suspect as a #1 threat to national security on the West Coast. 9/12/2016. Suspect is involved in an arms deal between the Serpent's Hand and a currently unidentified third party, interrupted by unit agents, ending in the murder of 15 agents, all by the suspect. Footnote 6. Based off of evidence at the crime scene, this unidentified third party seems to primarily focus on biological-based weaponry, believed to be of a religious nature. (10/2/2016). The suspect is arrested after a failed break inside of a unit-controlled warehouse, similar to the break-in on 8/2. 10/2/2016. The suspect is arrested after a failed break inside of a unit-controlled warehouse, similar to the break-in on 8/22/2016, of which the suspect was also a part of. However, in response to the theft, the Bureau increases security measures in anomalous storage warehouses. The suspect and the 15 Serpent Hands operatives were unprepared for these increased measures and were all arrested. Interview excerpt. Interviewer: Hello, Mr. Jordan. How are you doing to... Suspect: Eat a dick. Interviewer: If you don't wish to cooperate with us, we can put you back in solitary confinement. Suspect: Alright. Interviewer: Alright, so what is your... Suspect: I hope your entire family dies of cancer. Interviewer: Alright, officers, take Mr. Jordan back to his cell. We're done here. Suspect: Don't worry, I won't be there long. Big bro always comes, in the end. Document C. Access granted. The following document was recovered inside of 285's memory files. Originally a video, but only the audio was recovered. Audio begins with the sound of a car driving down a road. A male voice can be heard talking, identified as person of interest 6938. 6938. They're fucking animals, all of them. They beat us, abuse us, make us follow their rules, which always fucking put us at a disadvantage. And they expect us to not fight back? It's horrible. 285 does not speak. 6938. Well, me and you will show them. We're gonna get Jordan back. And then him and me and you are gonna take this world, right, Hacks? 285 does not respond. 6938, right, Hacks? 285, yes, sir. 6938. That's more like it. Now get ready, some feds are up ahead. This place should be where they keep the prisoner lists and shit. And hand me that mask. Just 'cause you don't need one doesn't mean I don't. The car slows down to a halt, with 2 car doors opening and slamming closed. Faint talking can be heard, along with the sound of a car door opening and closing. Audio cuts out for 31 minutes before beginning once again. Vomiting noises can be heard as someone is yelling. Footnote 7. This is currently believed to have been a deleted portion of the memory. 6938. God fucking damn it. You fucking dumbass. Can't you do anything right? 285. I'm sorry, alright? I just can't. 285 is cut off by vomiting. 6938. Damn it, Blunt. Whisper. Why did he have to make you so much of a pansy? 285. Oh God, I can't do this. It hurts. 6938. I'd expect so. They made me put that feature in. 285. They? 6938. Yeah, the fucking stoners. Blame them for what's going on. When someone like me or some other person feels bad for killing someone, it's like 5 times as painful for you. Increased empathy and the like. I would have made you like me, but they just had to be vomiting noises begin again. 285. Get it out of me. Help me. Make me a sociopath or something. I can't. I won't do this for the rest of my life. 6938. I can't. It's a built-in thing they made me put in you. I'd have to kill you to remove it. So better get used to it, Hacks. Thankfully it wasn't too useless. We got what we needed. Go and get some rest or whatever. 285. Yes, sir. End video. Huh. Sentient robot computer? Sapient robot computer? Oh, what did I say? Document D. Access granted. The following phone call is believed to be between Person of Interest 6938 and Person of Interest 6939, Jordan, after they had escaped the correctional facility where 6939 had originally been placed. 6938. Hey dude, you there? 6939. Yes, I am. What happened? 38. Fuck if I know, man. Our mutual friends did something to Hacks. 39. What do you mean, did something to it? 38. I can't mess with his files now, without possibly killing him, at any rate. 39. And? 38. Which means he's a liability. They know his face, and he doesn't have any of the fancy stuff that he used to have. Now he just sorta... Pause. Changes at random. He's too dangerous. 39. What do we do? 38. We, do what we need to. 39. Of course. Where will it be? 38. Outside of Vegas. I'll meet you at Salt Lake. 39. Alright. Just be careful, alright? 39. Or 38. You know I am, brother. Love you. 39. Love you too. Addendum 285.2. The following document was given to the Foundation by GOI 102 during the initial trait between GOI 102 and the Foundation. Holy heck! You've just found yourself your very own Mr. Hacks by Gamers Against Weed. Always use anti-malware, kids. Who is this 4chan? Collect them all and become Mr. Gamer. It's a bunch of links. Number 1, Mr. Literal Serial Killer, 2586. Mr. Normie, it just links to Mr. Normie. 3015, Mr. Bernie Sanders. Number 3. Number 4, Mr. Get Anything for Free in Any Shop. UIU file 2016-004. 20, Mr. Sex Number. 3697. 21, Mr. Heavenly Virtues. Collected item number 1080. Collected item no 1080 is what, like the literal there. 22, Mr. Deadly Sins. This is SCP-3024. 23, Mr. Original Character. This is 2839. Mr. Dare. Adoption Poster Darius. 25, Mrs. Gentrification. Ambrose Backdoor Soho. 26, Mr. Mad About Video Games. SCP-3090. 27, Mr. Meme. 2842. 28, Mr. Ominous. 3012, parentheses discontinued. 29, Mr. Destiny. 4239. 30, Mr. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. 2476. 31, Ms. Zapatista. 4669. 32, Mr. Hacks, checkmark. 33, Mr. Just Has the Tattoo. Log of anomalous items, hash JHTT. 34, Mr. Top Text and Mr. Bottom Text. 2562. 35, Mr. Finale. What the fuck are all of these? What? Collect them all and become Mr. Gamer. This is a lot of links. I don't know if I want to like look at all of them. I guess for verbatim, maybe I'll like unlock something. There's links to a lot of shit. Okay. Here's 2586. Gamers Against Weed. There's also a copy. This must be like a very early overarching like multiple interactive what? Timelines. This must be like one of the very first interconnected ones. 3015. Gamers Against Weed. This has a lot of integral characters that seem to be mentioned there. Yeah, we got another copy of the UIU document there. Feel the burn. Okay. Here's a UIU file 2016-004. I mean, okay. I'm just gonna quickly look over it because I don't know if I want to sit here reading all of it. UIU agents yet again being a bunch of little shits. Find out by clicking here. There's a picture like an ad with like some guy's face smiling. It's just a red box, like click here. A bunch of advertisements. Okay. Yeah, let's just quickly 3697. I don't know, this feels like I should just really quickly check. Maybe there's something here. Maybe it's just, for verbatim. PlayStation controller. Gamer. You become Mr. Gamer. Yeah, it seems like some of these do a link back. 3024. Like, we'll see in the list that it has a check mark next to what you learned. Okay. Holy heck.rtf. Holy heck. You just unlocked the gamer file. There it is. You became a gamer. Okay. This is a lot of stuff. Hi, my name is Darius. Hi, I'm Darius. What the fuck? Okay. I could just probably guess. They're like, hey, I'm the local bird of the town, Darius. That's our bird, Darius. Oh. Hey, by the way, we still love Darius. What's this? I'm seeing like reviews for a restaurant. I saw the chromatic vizier. What the fuck is going on? Ms. Gentrification is that one. 3090. Mobile Task Force Capitan Skynet.
Gaming makes me angry.
What? Enemy Typhlosion is poisoned. Enemy Typhlosion use swift. Okay, Typhlosion killed somebody. It's too bad. It's too bad that I love that Pokemon so much. Okay, we have like fake games or like, SCP Foundation games. I would say SCP games, but it doesn't matter whichever way it is. 2842. No, there's literally games that are of an article now. Okay, there's just too much to look at here. I'm gonna quickly yeah, there's too much to look at with all this. Gamers against the wind. Okay. Okay. I saw a word I definitely wouldn't want to read, so that's cool. Glad that whenever I get to this one, I'll have a call forward moment where I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, that one sucked. Project KinoWare Central Volunteer Hub. Uh-huh. Okay, what the? Encrypted. It looks encrypted. This looks like we just kind of copied an executable into Notepad. That's all it took. Green Man walking reports. Okay. Summation. Gamers against weed summation. I don't really know. I don't know. I thought I'd get something out of this, but I guess not. It's just a lot of interlinked stuff, I guess. Okay, yeah. Gamer Magic. Gamer Magic. On Destiny's Call. Okay, cab fare. What? So some of this just, I feel like we're talking about we're gaming in real life now. We've got probability distribution in real life. But gaming. 2476. Interview log. What's this? Monty Python. Revised document. What the fuck? 2476 in its original outfit prior to containment. Yeah. Okay, same interview log, I'm assuming. Can I have my outfit back? Yeah. That's Mr. Spanish Inquisition, 4669. Insert credentials here. Okay. Hello, 056. Blunt Fiend. Okay. Well, I guess if you wanted to, like, read back, it looks like Mr. Destiny is unlocked. Did I do something different by looking at all of this? To which haven't I suffer falls to hell? What the fuck? I'm gonna go back and click that real quick. What is that? What is that? Mr. Destiny with a heart 6? Okay, that's unclickable, I see. They were just saying that's like a multi-document. Okay, this just links to like the middle of a page. I don't even see... it's kind of unclear which one that even was. Anyway. The last one is 2562 related to that. Okay. Top text, bottom text. Okay. Anyway, let's move on from here. Addendum 285.3. The following document was discovered inside a sealed envelope addressed to Site 43 staff. Dear Janitors Ravens, I know this type of thing isn't our usual style, but we as a group decided that this situation couldn't be considered normal by any stretch of the imagination. We know you have hacks, and we know what happened to them, including what happened with Ken and Jordan, and what they planned on doing to him. How we know this is not important, but what is important is what we learned from it. We just want to say one thing to everyone involved. We're sorry. We're sorry we trusted a monster who we thought was our friend. We're sorry we couldn't stop him in time. We're sorry that we couldn't prevent what you went through, Hacks. I and the rest of the group want to say that we never wanted this to end this way, for Hacks, for you janitors, or for the Ravens, who didn't deserve what happened to them. We just wanted to bring happiness to children with your powers. We just wanted to mock you and the Ravens. We didn't mean for this. We never intended for things to end like this. We're so sorry. Signed, Gamers Against Weed. P.S. Don't worry about Ken or Jordan. We've dealt with them. This links to Somewhere Empty. Okay. Biological, Computer, Euclid, Gamers Against Weed, Humanoid, Metamorphic, Mr. Sapient, Serpent's Hand, Unusual Incidents Unit. Content warnings for this one. Okay. Yeah. This is a lot of writing integrated all together, and I'd love to check it out, but it's like once it interconnects so much, it's either got to be like a mainline thing that goes down a chain, or it's got to be like a main numeral. Otherwise, I get kind of lost. I'm like, I need to be like on the path for this. 286, item number 286, object class strike through safe, unstrike through Euclid. Special containment procedures. 286 is to be kept in a secure containment cell at Site 19 that allows an open, secure perimeter of at least 50-meter radius around 286. Only D-Class personnel are permitted to have direct physical contact with 286, and only as part of an approved experiment. Update 07-19-20 double blank. Experiments with 286 are hereby suspended until further notice. See Technical Note TN 286-55. 05 double blank. Okay. What? Okay, that goes down to the addenda at the bottom of the page. Surveillance cameras are to be positioned to allow 360-degree monitoring of 286 during experimentation. Recording shall be maintained and cataloged of all Sigma states exhibited by 286. Strike through. The archive of these states is to be made available to any researchers with level 2 clearance or higher on strike through. Update 03-11-20 double blank. As of incident I-286-5, Surveillance of 286 is to be continuous, and any initiation of a Sigma state is to immediately reported to Overwatch Command. Outside the immediate project directorate, the 286 Sigma state archives and associated material are to be restricted to Level 4 access. Under no circumstances are identified instances of 286-1 or 286-2 to be prevented from having contact with 286. 05 double blank. Description: 286 is a carved stone game board measuring 83 centimeters on a side. It bears markings consistent with the Chinese game of Liu Bo. Footnote 1. According to current historical evidence, Liu Bo is known to have been popular with upper-class Chinese from at least the Warring States period, 476 BCE to 221 BCE, until it fell out of fashion sometime during the Jin dynasty, 265 to 420. Based on artifacts found with 286 during recovery, 286 has been dated to at least the Shang dynasty. Footnote 2. Circa 1500 BCE. Though all attempts to date the carvings directly have been inconclusive, analysis of 286's composition has shown high concentrations of iron and nickel, and crystalline microstructures consistent with redacted. If any strike-through human being unstrike-through, higher-order mammal touches 286, it will initiate a Sigma state. A Sigma state is indicated by the appearance of 12 tokens on the surface of the game board. The tokens appear to be constructed of the same material as 286. Footnote 3. This is a hypothesis based on non-invasive sensors. It has so far been impossible to retrieve a token for direct physical examination. 6 tokens are dark, absorbing roughly 75% more ambient light than the board's surface, while 6 tokens are light, emitting roughly 75% more ambient light than that which actually strikes them. Appearing with the tokens on the game surface are 2 18-sided dice, apparently made of bronze. As with the game tokens, direct physical examination of the dice has proved to be impossible. Sorry, that was footnote 4. The dice share the anomalous reflective and absorption properties shown by the game tokens, one light and one dark. Otherwise, the dice appear consistent with dice found with non-anomalous Liu Bo sets recovered from various Chinese archaeological sites. A Sigma state will also manifest 286-1 and 286-2 to play a game. 286-1 and 286-2 are strike-through human beings, unstrike-through, higher-order mammals who have suffered temporary alterations in patterns of movement, cognition, behavior, and vocalization. 286-1 will appear agitated. Movements will become jerky and imprecise. Vocalizations will be quick, stuttering, and aggressive. 286-2 will appear sluggish. Movements halting and slow. Vocalizations will be low-pitched, throaty, and tend to be monosyllabic. Subjects capable of human speech will converse, but only to their opposite number during a Sigma event. Such conversations, or monologues in the case of a subject facing a non-human opponent, are conducted in a random sequence of human languages, sometimes shifting multiple times within a single statement. Only 45% of the recorded conversations between 286-1 and 286-2 have been successfully translated to date. The subject who initiated the Sigma state will become an instance of 286-1 if they touched 286 on an illuminated surface, or they will become an instance of 286-2 if they touch 286 on a surface that is in shadow. In either case, the subject will take a seated position to one side of the board. Footnote 5. Instances of 286.1 will take a position on the side nearest the light game tokens. Instances of 286.2 will take a position on the opposing side nearest the dark game tokens, and roll one of the two dice manifested by 286. Footnote 6. 286.1 always uses the light die. 286.2 always uses the dark die. After the die is rolled, some other strike-through human being unstrike-through, higher-order mammal will appear within 47 meters of 286 and become the subject's opposition. 286.2 in the case where the subject is 286.1, or 286.1 in the case where the subject is 286.2. This selection appears to be related to the result of the first die roll. Footnote 7. The 18 possible die results from this opening roll can be represented by points on a matrix with two axes, one denoting geographic proximity and the other denoting a physical similarity to the subject. The most proximate roll, designated Side 1, resulted in selecting another D-class subject of the same race and gender from the site housing 286. The least proximate roll, designated Side 18, resulted in the selection of an opposite-gendered Phascolarctocineris. Huh? The fuck? Huh? The least proximate roll, designated Side 18, resulted in the selection of a opposite-gendered Phascolarctos cinereus from its native habitat in northeastern Australia. After appearing, the subject's opposition will take a seated position facing the subject and will commence playing the first move. Gameplay then consists of 286.1 and 286.2 alternately rolling dice and moving pieces on the board in complex patterns. A game is won when the center square contains all of one side's tokens, and only that side's tokens. Footnote 8. The actual rules for the historical game of Liobo are unknown, and gameplay during Sigma events show no clear correspondence with any hypothesized reconstructions of the original rules for Liobo. A mathematical analysis of recorded games by Dr. L. W. has proved that there can be no consistent n-dimensional rule set covering all the recorded games for any value of n less than 5. A winning move concludes a Sigma state. During a Sigma state, 286.1 and 286.2 will show no reaction to any external stimuli that does not physically interfere with 286.1, 286.2 and their interaction with the game. If something disrupts an ongoing game. Footnote 9. Footnote 9. Such as by touching 286.1 or 286.2 or by moving a die or game token. Then either 286.1 or 286.2 will stand and vocalize a statement that most commonly translates as forfeit, less commonly as draw. This event will also conclude a Sigma state. When a sigma state concludes, players will cease being designated 286-1 or 286-2, and game tokens, dice, and the subject's opposing player all vanish. Footnote 10. In all of the double blank cases where the opposing player summoned by the subject has been positively identified, it has been confirmed that at the conclusion of a sigma state, the opposing player reappears in the exact place that they had been prior to being summoned. All observed subjects and those opposing players who have been identified and examined have shown no physical after effects from interaction with 286. However, all cases have shown a marked increase in spirituality and interest in religious subjects, including but not limited to adoption of new belief systems, taking on of vows, speaking in tongues, and prophetic visions. Footnote 11. One opposing player was discovered to have founded a cult called blank 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 in the southwestern United States within 6 months after exposure. For the winning player, this new spirituality will tend to take an optimistic messianic character. For the winning player, this new spirituality will tend to take an optimistic messianic character. For the losing player, attitudes will tend toward the apocalyptic. Addendum 1. Technical Note TN 286-55. 286's possible relationship to divination and/or revelation. Historically, Liubo was not only a game, but also used as a method of divination. The various spots on the game board corresponding to the sexagenary cycle used by Chinese to recount the passage of time since the earliest written texts. Given the propensity of subjects to have prophetic visions subsequent to their participation in a Sigma event, it has been theorized by several researchers that the moves during a Sigma event may themselves be of some prophetic significance. So what I imagine is the summoning game. It will always pull an opponent, and the logic is whatever they said to the dice roll. But the goal of the game itself is like the propheticism, the prophetism, or whatever, like the divination. This seems really fun to me. I like the idea of this. The players get lost in the game, and they decide to forfeit if they're interacted with. I feel like if you get a willful participant, they will just constantly divine. Okay. There's an image. Liubo divination diagram dating from the Han Dynasty, 202 BCE to 220 CE. Liubo diagram.jpg is the name of the image. Really what I see is a fractal or a mirrored image on the scale of kaleidoscope. It's just square kaleidoscopic. So if you took one fraction and copied it 4 times and then turned it 4 times. I can't read Chinese, but I'm assuming this describes like quadrants, and I don't know, each quadrant has some descriptor per quadrant, and each quadrant's descriptor has a sub-descriptor and yada yada. It makes me really think of feng shui, which also kind of entails order and like the best system of things, and I'm not an expert, but okay. It's just a diagram. It's very symmetrical is really what I'm trying to entail. 4 open-ended Ys extending into the corners with a line connecting them to the main box in the center, which has a character in the center. The box extends in a plus very shortly into a T shape, and then each T shape hovering above it also has, similarly to the endpoints of the Y, a right angle. Each T point has a right angle hovering above it. So on the outside of the entire diagram, if you look at it, actually just looking at the diagram in general, you can see a matrix or even a hypercube, if anything. Just looking at it, you see the outline of 9 boxes, but you could also see connectomy points, connections outlining a matrix. And really, what I see with all the descriptors is connection points that outline the space. Not even really just like descriptions of what's going on, but like it really looks crafted in such a way that teaches you the math behind it. While the possible significance of individual moves during recorded Sigma events is ongoing and so far inconclusive, it has been determined that the act of winning does appear to correspond to significant events beyond the game itself. In particular, every instance of 286-1 winning has been tied to intensification of sunspots, solar flares, and generally increased solar activity. 286-2 winning has been associated with significant tectonic events, including redacted. Because it is not known if these events were predicted by one side winning or caused by one side winning, experimentation on 286 has been suspended as an unacceptable risk. Yeah. Addendum 2, document TR 286-27E. Excerpted translation of dialogue between 286-1 and 286-2 during Sigma event number 27. Forward. D-class test subject was a male Caucasian, 44 years of age, identified as 286-1 after initiation of his Sigma state. Opposition player 286-2 was an as-yet unidentified Hispanic female, approximately 20 years of age. The Sigma state lasted for 68 minutes, at which time 286-1 achieved the winning move. During the Sigma event, the players conversed in 25 known languages and approximately 15 unknown languages. Roughly 30% of their dialogue was undecipherable or in an indeterminate language, marking this episode the most completely translated yet recorded. Begin transcript 1300, double blank, quadruple blank. 286-1, you move, rotate, slowly and precisely, as untranslatable, matter, earth, universe. 286-2, from here on out, I will refer to them as 1 and 2. 2. Have, possess, patience, my are, brother and, still quiet silence, untranslatable, mind, thoughts, brain. 1. Untranslatable. 2. Laughs. Distress, discomfort, displeasure, untranslatable, to you. 1. Why would I untranslatable your sins, perversions, abominations? 2. Laughs. 1. You disgust me, untranslatable. Matter, earth, universe, disgusts me. 2. You untranslatable in that meat skin, this amuses me. 1. Untranslatable. 2. Move, process, sequence. 1. Every time, moment, eternity, my untranslatable, closer, I must, will, shall, illuminate, enlighten, this untranslatable. 2. Size. Move, process, sequence. This really just reads like a large language model. It reads like aliens that have intelligence on the level of AI in the bodies of whoever the players are. Hey. All my interests. 2. Move, process, sequence. 1. Every time, moment, eternity, my untranslatable closer, I must, will, shall, illuminate, enlighten, this untranslatable. 2. Size, move, process, sequence. 1. You are too comfortable, undisturbed, enslaved, bound, chained. Within untranslatable, meet, doll, puppet. Untranslatable, love, arousal. Untranslatable. 2. Move, process, sequence, or forfeit. 1. Untranslatable. 2. Untranslatable. 1. Untranslatable. 2. Untranslatable. Exiled, banished me to Matter Earth universe. Untranslatable. No understand. Me more than you. 2. 1. 1. Untranslatable. Will. No understand. Me and be. Consumed, engulfed, destroyed by knowledge understanding. 2. But brother, I am so much closer. End transcript. 1312. Double blank, quadruple blank. There seems to be a dialogue between ignorance and wisdom. Would you take some sunspots or tectonic shifts that are probably so lethal we had to redact it? I don't know. I'm proffering bias on that. Honestly, actually, it seems like dialogue between two like gray gradients, right? Two neutral parties. Addendum 3, Incident Report I-286-5. SCPs evolved 286, 286-1, 286-2, 435-1. Date 03/11/20 double blank. Location 286's containment area, Site 19. Description at 0531 UTC. Standard security monitoring 286's containment area detected the unauthorized presence of Dr. S. S. A Foundation researcher temporarily assigned to Site 19, most recently assigned to the study of 435. Footnote 12. Subsequent investigation has determined that the chemical composition and crystalline structures of 286 and 435 are identical. All experimentation on 286 has been suspended for the preceding 8 months, and no activity with the object had been approved. A security team was dispatched, reaching Dr. S. as she entered 286's containment area. Upon arrival, the security team discovered the presence of Dr. L. W. A researcher assigned to 286, already seated behind the dark side of 286. 286 showed the signs of already being in a sigma state. Both researchers showed behavioral anomalies consistent with 286-1 and 286-2. Believing an unauthorized experiment was underway. The security team restrained Dr. S. before she could seat herself at 286. In response, Dr. L. stood and vocalized what has been identified as vulgate Latin. In response, Dr. L. stood and vocalized what has been identified as vulgate Latin words for grand forfeit. The sigma state concluded at 0545 UTC. Neither researcher could provide any explanation of how they were affected by 286. Dr. S. last recollection was having a cup of coffee at a staff commissary on the other side of the Site 19 complex from 286, while Dr. L. reported that he had been reading emails in his office when he blacked out. Simultaneously with the cessation of 286's sigma state, there was a sudden emergency of redacted when 435-1 unexpectedly entered an active state, moving erratically, and redacted, impacting the ocean basin at redacted, causing a redacted. Contingency 435 XK Alpha had been initiated, but was cancelled when 435-1 came to rest 3 minutes later. Note: 286 classification is hereby upgraded to Euclid 05 single blank. This one has a lot of footnotes. This one was very long too. Artifact Euclid game mind affecting predictive religious shadow. I mean, the other one was long too. The UIU affiliated one. I feel like this was long, not broken up into chunks though. Alright, on to 287. This one has an image. The description is just 287. SCP-287. It is just a sword. It looks like an ancient artifact sword. The hilt is still in good quality, it appears, but it's very angular. The blade itself is extremely worn. It appears to be made of bronze or some other brownish metal. The complexion of the blade itself looks kind of like muddy dirt water. Dirt, muddy water, whatever. With like a camera flash on the photo. Item number 287, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. 287 is stored in a climate-controlled secure locker in Site-22 in order to prevent additional deterioration. At this time, no additional testing is required, but may be approved by Dr. Sigurd Olafsson. This links to 3609. SCP-3609. Okay. We just constantly loop into new articles, pretty much. Alright. 3609. Sources of electricity are to be kept away from 287's locker at all times. If testing with 287 is required, insulated gloves are to be worn to prevent accidental discharge into the hilt. 287-1's remains are to be kept in storage until further notice. Research requests for 287-1 can be routed to Dr. Zartion and are restricted to Level 4 personnel or Level 2 personnel from the Exobiology Department. Description: 287 is a Viking arming sword, measuring 78 centimeters from pommel to tip and weighing 1077 grams. 287 is in a state of significant decay due to exposure to outside elements for anywhere from 900 to 1100 years. 287 was found in Blank, Iceland, alongside several written records. See Discovery Log. 287 is comprised primarily of iron, with several potentially anomalous components incorporated into its structure. Several of these materials have been detected by Foundation probes traveling within extrasolar regions of our galaxy, as well as probes which redacted. Carbon dating has placed 287's creation to around the early 10th century CE. Samples of exoplanetary metals and materials have proven to be more difficult to date, and analysis is ongoing. There's another image. An example of materials found with 287. The name of the image is Codex Runicus.jpg. A rune codex. It does appear to be a codex of runes. Some of them are outlined in red. It just appears to be like a quote-unquote leather tablet with what looks like 2 paragraphs of inscriptions. I don't know. There's 2 codons to the right or whatever. Two other scripts on the side of the page. Or could just be, morphings. Could also be runes. There appears to be slight segments in red. But yeah, it's just a page of runes. .287's anomalous effect can be observed when electrical current is applied through the metallic portions of the hilt exposed just below the guard. These exposed elements are in a noticeably better state than the iron portions of 287. 287's internal components will begin to emit several frequencies of EM radiation and varying sounds invariably described as distressing by research staff and test subjects. Radiation produced by 287 causes all humans who are exposed to it to experience acute Radiation produced by 287 causes all humans who are exposed to it to experience acute audiovisual hallucinations and severe headaches. 287's specific hallucination takes the form of translucent human-like figures 287's specific hallucination takes the form of translucent human-like figures in the immediate vicinity, invariably outfitted as members of an armed force.
There's like a weapon ability to distract your foe.
The armament and armor worn by 287's hallucinations varies by subject, with a general trend towards the individual's perception what they consider to be modern armament. Oh. Testing with animals as well as non-anomalous EM fields and sounds of the exact same frequencies do not produce the same effect in any combination of cases. Higher amperage currents have increased this effect to a maximum of 437 individual hallucinations. See document R27-287 for specific amperage count levels. Further testing was deemed unnecessary. 287-1 is believed to be an extraterrestrial organism found in the same location as 287. The exact origin of 287-1 is unknown at this time. A full report on 287-1 can be found in document R27-287-1. See Addendum B for partial report. 287-1's potential spacecraft, designated 287-2, see Addendum B for a partial report, appears to be completely destroyed. The current working hypothesis for 287-2 is that it was intended for some form of escape pod from a larger vessel. Discovery. 287 was recovered from a burial mound outside of blank, Iceland on January double blank 20 double blank. See Addendum A for details. The remains found within the tomb proved to be non-human, and the Foundation took custody of 287. The remains were designated 287-1. 287-1's remains are skeletal and humanoid, though significantly different from human skeletal structure. Additionally, several written sources were found within the tomb and acquired by the Foundation. Dr. Sigurd Olafsson was consulted to help translate the writing, which is attached below. See Addendum A. Prepared by the Department of Terra Linguistics. The discovery of 287 was predicated upon reports of ghost soldiers in an area outside of blank Iceland. A recent storm had struck the burial mound containing 287, conducting current into 287 through a crude lightning rod made of iron. The hallucinations created by 287 affected an amateur film crew. The crew informed local authorities, and Foundation information gathering subroutines flagged these reports as potentially anomalous. Keywords: ghost, specter, crazy, kids, hallucination with a double correlation factor of gamma 6. Class A amnestics were administered to all witnessing parties, and the burial site was declared a heritage dig site, though a Foundation shell corporation. Class A amnestics were administered to all witnessing parties, and the burial site was declared a heritage dig site, through a Foundation shell corporation. Within the burial mound, Foundation agents discovered 287, 287-1, and additional written materials dating back to the early 10th century CE. Within the burial mound, Foundation agents discovered 287, 287-1, and additional written materials dating back to the early... Within the burial mound, Foundation agents discovered 287, 287-1, and additional written materials dating back to the earlier... Within the burial mound, Foundation agents discovered 287, 287-1, and additional written materials dating back to the earlier... Within the burial mound, Foundation agents discovered 287, 287-1, and additional written materials dating back to the early 10th century CE. A transcription was created by Dr. Sigurd Olafsson. Unintelligible sections are most likely proper nouns with no direct translation. I am Halvor Skadison, Skald. Got some shit on my screen. I am Halvor Skadison, Skald of Unintelligible, and I have been trusted with the tale of Thor's champion, the Meteor Lord. In the depths of winter the year after the Great Raid, we saw a fiery meteor in the sky. It landed deep in the heart of the northern wastes, and we followed it. A wondrous thing it was, gleaming and covered in ghost lights. We approached and found a man standing in a heavy cloak, examining the meteor. The ghost lights went dark, and the figure pressed his hand to the outside of the star. A wondrous light filled our eyes as the star opened. He disappeared into the meteor, and emerged to look at us with such fiery determination in his eyes. We knew he could only be a king, sent to us from Odin himself. He would protect us from the raids, and we would know prosperity again. Our prayers had been answered. Daily did the elders of our village come to his resting site, but his own tongue was blessed only to speak the language of the Aesir. Weeks passed as he learned our language. When he learned of our plight, he appeared to grow angry. He appeared to grow angry and charged back to the meteor, to fashion himself a mighty weapon with which to defend the village. Weeks later he emerged, with a sword in his hand gleaming and mighty. He held it aloft, and his power was made manifest. Ghostly warriors, heroes from Valhalla, stood around him, brandishing weapons. We threw ourselves on the ground, our heads aching with the glory of these Valhalla warriors, and this pleased the Meteor Lord. For years, when the raids came, we ran in supplication to the Meteor Lord. He emerged, and all fled from his flashing blade and burning eyes. We marked the way to the Meteor Lord's home with the cairn stones. During the Battle of Unintelligible, the Meteor Lord's fall came. His powers failed him, and Odin recalled him to Valhalla. We buried him with all the honor we could muster, and fashioned a conduit for the great storms from Thor. On stormy nights the heroes still come and watch over our village, their glory splitting the head of any man who dare look upon them. This feels like an alien came to visit, couldn't leave planet Earth. It was like, hey, that's what's going on in your neighborhood? I thought it was going to, like, help you hunt sheep. Alright, let me craft something to help your war effort. You know, I shouldn't do this, but I'm stranded here anyway. You know, the rule of thumb is if you get stranded and, like, you're going to get out of there, but you help the populace anyway, you got to, like, do it in a covert method where you can, like, you know, let them naturally go back. I died in battle. There's my alien corpse. Prepared for the... I just imagined Stonehenge there, by the way. Prepared by the Department of Exolinguistics. Tracing back from the story presented in the included writings, Foundation agents tracked down the meteor, mentioned in the epic translated by Dr. Olafsson. Excavating the object in question led to an almond-shaped craft made of an unknown material. Research regarding this craft can be found in document R27287. Within the craft, several records were found, written in an unknown language upon crude paper. It is hypothesized that this is some kind of journal of 287-1. An exact translation is nearly impossible. However, using redacted, a partial translation has been attempted. Timestamp. Unknown symbology. Unknown place, unknown people, primitive, violent, untranslated, didn't survive. Everything is lost. Must find a way back. Too many counting on me. Timestamp. Unknown symbology theorized to be several days later. They found me. Managed to put together untranslated hood. They won't see me. Must learn their language. Must keep them away from me. Unknown biology. May infect. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a visitor from another world. Timestamp. Unknown symbology theorized to be several weeks later. I see their weapons. Mine non-functional. Made one like theirs. Use last of the untranslated. Turned to alien brain chemistry. Tuned to alien brain chemistry. Hope it scares them off. Not sure how much longer I can work on untranslated. Not having most likely a proper noun. Nearby is unbearable, dying, breaking. Unbearable, dying, breaking. So there's like another one on board. Timestamp. Unknown symbology, unknown time. They came back. I used the weapon. Scares them. Untranslated. Almost done. May be able to leave. Down to 16. Cells, items, spheres. Okay. Timestamp. Unknown symbology, unknown time. They brought others. I scared them again. Not sure if I can repair the untranslated. Thought I had enough. Closest match was a chemical formula matching 148. Used. Most likely a proper nouns. Necklace. Still not enough. Huh. Bluish tinge with green. Is this like the cupric sulfide or whatever? That has like psychic properties? See, I was thinking like S5 steel here, but okay, if we have like the psychic copper, like the green copper. Timestamp, unknown symbology, unknown time. Okay, yeah. Timestamp, unknown symbology, theorized to be several years later. Won't stop coming. Only one. Cells, items, spheres left. Time running out. Power nearly gone. I can't repair untranslated. Too many unit of time. It is hypothesized that at this point, whatever power source 287-1 was using to activate 287 ran out. 287-1 was most likely killed during the next raid without 287 to protect them. Electrical, electromagnetic, extraterrestrial, hallucination, safe, visual, weapon. So I wonder if they even thought like the allies were evil. They just wanted to scare them all away. 288, object class safe. There's an image. It's really just like a diamond ring. It appears to just be a diamond ring. We can glean maybe like a rock surface below it, and there's some light coming from the southwest quadrant, beaming into the northeast quadrant. Just a gold ring with a diamond on it. The diamond is square. Okay. It's just named rings.jpg. Close-up image of 288 taken during initial containment. Items were found in this position. Is the description of the image. Special containment procedures. 288 is to be kept in a locker with only security personnel of level 2 clearance or higher given the combination. They are currently contained in the small velvet-lined black box they were retrieved in. Personnel who have worn the rings during testing are to undergo full psychological exams afterward, and their experience is recorded. Description: 288 consists of a women's engagement ring, hereafter referred to as 288-1, and matching men's band, hereby referred to as 288-2. Both silver in appearance, the ring containing a small diamond. They are relatively plain and bear no marks as to their origin or make, but staff routinely describe them as seeming like very nice wedding rings, if a little plain. They are completely normal in every sense, and have been damaged by endurance testing, and subsequently repaired through typical jeweling practices, and their effects are only observable while worn. When 288-1 is worn by any adult female in a relationship, she immediately becomes what has been portrayed in popular media as an ideal housewife. Women describe this experience as if they are not in control of their body, merely observing their own actions. They lose all ability to form their own opinions, and instead automatically agree with the opinions of their spouse, and display very few negative emotions, if any. They seem to gain an instinctive knowledge of cooking and baking, in the style considered to be the traditional American style. including such dishes as apple pie or macaroni and cheese. These dishes are always professionally made regardless of prior skill. A similar knowledge is evidenced in the spheres of cleaning and light repair. Subjects regularly display the ability to sew and knit, even if they were not able to do so before donning 288-1. Along with this knowledge, they feel an innate urge to cook, clean, and mend things around their home incessantly. They lose the will to have a job of their own and become exceedingly obedient and loyal to their spouse, as well as religious and authority figures. Many wearers of 288-1 exhibit a fondness for rather modest dress and are uncomfortable when wearing pants or more revealing clothing. They also develop a fondness for children, and if they do not already have children, express the urge to have them. When 288-2 is worn by any adult male in a relationship, he undergoes a similar change, taking on the characteristics of popular media's portrayal of an all-American dad. Whether or not he has children of his own. Men describe the experience similarly to women, in that they feel they are not in control of their actions. He shows loyalty and obedience to political, religious, and authority figures, and an innate duty to his current professional management structure. He will work exceedingly long hours without complaint, and maintains an upbeat and motivated demeanor at his work. No matter the nature of his former personality, he becomes friendly and easy to approach, good with kids, and fiercely loyal to his spouse. He is always willing to help around the house and willing to please with a shoulder rub. Men with children become attentive, engaged fathers, and men without children express a strong desire to have them. When used collectively, 288 seems to recreate a model of a Stepford marriage. While this seems ideal and relatively harmless, 288 has been responsible for numerous crimes, including spousal abuse, murder, and suicide. Both women and men report feeling trapped while wearing 288, and out of control of their own life. After extended periods of wearing 288, they often have intense feelings of depression and personality displacement. On a more sinister note, somebody wearing either instance of 288 will take virtually any manner of abuse from a spouse without a word or raising a hand to defend themselves. In transsexual transgender individuals, the ring appears to react to their gender identity. Therefore, a transsexual/transgender individual assigned male at birth would react to the female ring rather than the male ring, whether or not they were pre- or post-gender reassignment surgery. Homosexual subjects are affected by their actual gender. A male homosexual will not react to the female ring, just as a female homosexual will not react to the male ring. More testing upon sex and gender is pending. The potential for 288 to create a domestic slave proves disturbing to some and seems useful to others, and records show that has been used in such a fashion before. See Addendum 288A. That may be a misspelling, I'm not sure. And records show that it has been used in such a fashion before. See Addendum 288A. I don't know, maybe. Preliminary testing of 288 has proved inconclusive. The rings themselves display no physical anomalies compared to a normal wedding ring of similar type. It is theorized that the rings profile their subjects mimetically, drawing on the experiences present in the subject to influence their behavior upon activation. This theory is supported by 288's ability to differentiate subjects based on their self-perception of gender, rather than their physical sex. 288 was discovered by Dr. Wrights. This links to cloudy with a chance of showers. 288 was discovered by Dr. Wrights in data expunged. Thankfully, her boyfriend grew weary of her extreme mood changes and called the emergency SCP contact number she had left for him, delivering 288 into the Foundation's hands. Well, that was like a glow-up story. I'm just glad I got suckered into it before somebody else did, even if it was horrible. Dr. Wrights. It should be noted that both instances of 288 resist being separated and wearers may feel compelled to buy or even steal the rings in order to keep them nearby. Addendum 288A. It has been revealed through extensive backtracking of 288's history that it has been associated with upwards of 25 instances of homicide, between 13 and 15 suicides, and 2 reported cases of spousal abuse. It has regularly resurfaced in pawn shops across the United States for at least 80 years, though all attempts to track it past the early 20th century have failed to reveal further evidence.
Well, goddamn.
Jewelry, mind-affecting, safe. Just feels like an allegory for marriage in general, but okay. The thing that I wonder about the most there is, like, where does it come from? Where does it grow? And if it's like, you could destroy and repair it through various methods, then, like, traditional metallurgy, couldn't you just, like, take half of it? 49%, in fact. Part of the diamond, part of the silver. Make a brand new ring. And then just repair the rest of it. Keep copying it infinitely. Make a Theseus ship of it. And I'm not saying we need this, but I'm saying, hypothetically, you could make infinite copies. Hypothetically, you could infinitely copy it. If anything, I'm wondering, you attach this ring to a non-natural source of diamond, and you grow diamonds on top of it. Then you attach it to like a non-natural source of silver, like a fucking brick of silver. You just like siphon from that. I wonder if the anomalous effects may not just transitive properly. Transitive property translate properly. 289, item number 289, object class safe. Special containment procedures currently located at Site 17 under the supervision of Dr. Blank Blank. 289 is to be suspended on a 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter platform in the exact center of a 5 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter concrete room. It is to be monitored at all times by no fewer than 2 mounted cameras whose video feeds will be recorded and archived if deemed necessary upon review. Every 30 days. Every 30 days. 289 is to be moved to an identical housing facility on the other side of Site 17 to avoid unnecessary inertial buildup. No personnel are allowed to approach closer than a 1.6 meter radius of 289 unless they have prior authorization from 2 Level 3 supervisors attached to this project. Additionally, any personnel interacting with 289 are to have read all authorized documents relating to 289 and to have a thorough understanding of its capabilities and the time limits involved. Description: 289 is an irregularly shaped mass of hematite, parentheses Fe2O3, so iron 2 oxide 3, with analysis showing trace amounts of aluminum, phosphorus, data expunged, and water. 289 has the unique property of intensifying the effects of inertia over objects in a 1.6 meter radius over time. Objects that remain immobile will become more and more difficult to move, while objects maintaining a constant speed will become very difficult to stop. At best estimate, close proximity to 289 increases an object's inertia by 17% every 160 seconds, with a slightly slower reduction of inertia over time to base levels after being removed from 289's active radius. 289 was retrieved in 1983 after a series of odd traffic accidents in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. On single blank, double blank 1983, a small car sped uncontrollably through the city for 17 minutes until it finally impacted with the side of a butcher shop and was stopped. All objects located inside the vehicle either exited through the front windshield or were forcibly pressed as far towards the front of the car as they could go. The driver, who remains unidentified, was announced dead at the scene and eventually loaded into an ambulance with some difficulty. On the way to the hospital, the ambulance shared a similar fate as the previous car, with the driver reporting sluggish turning and braking at first, followed by an inability to turn or stop at all, and an intense feeling of being drawn forwards. The ambulance came to a stop after plunging into the North Saskatchewan River. The ambulance came to a stop after plunging into the North Saskatchewan River. The driver managed to escape from the vehicle and found himself propelled across the river and into the surrounding woods at an estimated 30 kilometers per hour, where he remained pinned to a tree for The driver managed to escape from the vehicle and found himself propelled across the river and into the surrounding woods at an estimated 30 kilometers per hour, where he remained pinned to a tree for nearly 45 minutes before his inertia stabilized and he fell to the ground. SCP agents arrived within the week to retrieve the ambulance's contents and were able to identify 289 as the source of the disturbances. 289 was eventually airlifted to Site-17 by being attached to the end of a long tether held below a helicopter to avoid any inertial buildup on the part of the vehicle. That's very smart. Like whatever system is holding the wire on top of the wire itself is going to contain a lot of that inertia. It's inertial dampening right there. Addendum. Those with proper authorization to research the properties of or interact with 289 should see the document 289-01 for full safety procedures. Document 289-01, Testing Safety Procedures. The radius of 289's action is precisely 1.6 meters. There is never to be more than one person inside this radius at any time. Human interaction with 289 is not necessarily dangerous, but stringent time restraints are in order. No Foundation personnel are to be inside the active radius for more than 90 seconds. During this time of exposure, personnel are advised to alter their speed, acceleration, and position as often as possible to avoid inertial buildup. Objects to be subjected to 289's active field should ideally be introduced to the field by Objects to be subjected to 289's active field should ideally be introduced to the field by automated means. Long handheld manipulating devices are also accessible, and for particularly delicate objects or precise adjustments, human interaction is allowed, so long as time restraints are not violated. Retrieval of stationary objects that remain inside 289's active field for more than 800 seconds is nearly impossible. Objects that maintain a constant speed inside the active field for a similar time are nearly impossible to slow or stop. Thus, all experiments should conclude before this threshold time is reached. In the event that an object becomes irretrievable, researchers may petition Dr. Blank Blake to have the object returned after 289 is moved to its new enclosure during monthly transfer protocol, and the requested object's inertia has returned to standard levels. Well, that's good. We've ascertained a method to, stabilize, normalize. I'm really curious what happens after 800, though. We let it sit there for, several hundred days. Not just 800 seconds. This thing, once you push it, is gonna tear the universe asunder. You sneeze, you've, fucking pushed air at it, and it, just carves the world apart. Transfer of 289 from holding area alpha to holding area beta or back is to be performed every 30 days. During this procedure, hallway 121 is to be completely evacuated, and all adjoining doors are to be locked at security level 3. 289 is to be removed from its suspended platform and placed inside of one of the rubber spheres located in the adjoining storage area. The sphere is to be rolled down the hallway towards the opposite holding area at a speed of no greater than 0.5 kilometers per hour, which should remain steady for the duration of the relocation. Once the sphere comes to a stop, 289 is to be removed and placed on the new suspended platform. Safe. Okay. Well, we've ascertained with, like, logic, reasoning, and math that it is safe. Just as long as you're not stupid around it. Alright, and the last one for the evening. Last one for the night, 290. Oh yeah, cloudy with a chance of showers, by the way. This is, if you wanted to see this one really quick. (290) Item number 290, object class safe. Special containment procedures. 290 is to be held in a 5 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter cell at Site 19. Personnel are forbidden from interacting with 290 except during an approved testing procedure, and any personnel who attempt to do so must be terminated with any force necessary. During any interaction with 290, 3 guards with full knowledge of the object must flank the object's aperture. Anyone other than Class D personnel attempting to enter must be removed from the object's cell. Subjects who undergo reconfiguration are terminated at the conclusion of experimentation. Description: 290 is a hollow metallic sphere 3 meters in diameter, with a circular opening of diameter 90 cm cut into one side. The sphere is welded to 4 metal posts, 50 cm in height. Scans have shown that 290 is composed of a combination of aluminum and data expunged, many of which do not match any known atomic structure. All attempts to take samples of the metal for more detailed analysis have failed. The external temperature of the sphere remains constant at 318 Kelvin (45 degrees Celsius), regardless of the ambient conditions. As no power source for the device has been found, how it maintains this temperature is as yet unknown. Researchers have noted that personnel appear to display slightly elevated curiosity about 290's function, although whether this is evidence of a psychological effect or simply due to its abnormality is unknown. Although whether this is evidence of a psychological effect or simply due to its abnormality is not known. Should a subject enter 290 through the circular opening, the aperture will shrink rapidly, rendering the inside section inaccessible. After 5 to 20 minutes, the aperture will reopen. No sound can be heard emanating from 290 during this period. Subjects emerge from this process alive, conscious, albeit often in a state of extreme distress, but with their anatomy significantly altered. Limbs, facial features, and redacted appear to be relocated randomly, yet without losing functionality. Fingers and toes are often removed from the hands and feet, and eyes rarely remain in a configuration lending itself to binocular vision. Almost all subjects report pain and discomfort in breathing and movement, if either remain possible, with most unable to walk or perform any type of effective locomotion. Random body machine? Autopsies performed on afflicted subjects revealed that a similar reconfiguration occurs internally, with organ placement changed and blood vessels, nerves, lengthened to fit the new arrangement. Evidence of severe internal bleeding and hemorrhage of other bodily fluids is often present, although subjects display none of the connected symptoms on retrieval from 290, and no subject has died as a direct result of exposure to the object. Subjects' bones show evidence of large-scale fracturing, but also rapid healing, ostensibly a part of the modification process. Subjects remain conscious throughout the reconfiguration. See Addendum 290-1 for details. Addendum 290-1 Experiment Log. Subject D59414, male, 18, supervisor, Dr. S. Blank, SCP-290 lead researcher. Purpose: ascertain the experiences of subjects within 290. Procedure: D59414 was exposed to 290, having had no prior experience with the object. Subject immediately inquired as to its function, to which Dr. S. Blank, "That is what we intend to find out." After several subsequent inquiries from the subject were rebuffed, Subject was provided with an IR-sensitive video camera in order to enter the object. Subject complied without resistance. Aperture reopened 17.4 minutes after closure, and subject and video camera were retrieved. The video camera was heavily damaged during the experiment due to the subject's violent convulsions. The video camera was heavily damaged during the experiment due to the subject's violent convulsions, and around 65% of the footage is unintelligible. A transcript of the video feed recovered from the camera follows. Video feed initially shows subject sitting calmly in the center of 290, looking around and examining his surrounding by touch at intervals. This continues for around 2 minutes, at which point the subject begins clutching his chest and groaning. Subject then begins to scream, including the phrase, "I was only curious, but now I know, please let me go." Whether this indicates a secondary consciousness inhabiting the subject's mind with which he was conversing is unknown. It is at this point that the subject begins flailing, impacting the camera repeatedly and causing it to record only small fragments of footage. Fragments of interest are noted below, in chronological order. Bullet. Subject's head appears to be slowly embedding itself into his thigh. Both eyes absent. Bullet. Subject's fingers visible on his torso. Bullet. Subject's fingers visible on his torso. Bullet. Subject's eye moving across his right foot. Eyeball changing. Bullet. Subject's eye moving across his right foot. Eyeball changing orientation rapidly as it does so. Bullet. Subject lying in a pattern reminiscent of the fetal position. Slow breathing audible. End transcript. A debriefing interview was scheduled, but owing to the subject's larynx being located away from his trachea, could not be conducted. Autopsy showed wide-scale reorganization of the subject's internal organs, including small-scale fusing of parts of the small intestine and data expunged, resulting in contamination of the chest cavity data expunged. Despite this, the subject had a normal volume of blood within his circulatory system, and levels of other bodily fluids, such as bile, were within normal parameters. How 290 maintains or replenishes these fluids is unknown. Rewrite, robotic, safe, sphere, transfiguration. Well, that's going to do it, homies. I hope you enjoyed. That's some more reading the SCP Foundation Wiki. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.